Let's go. Well. It is official. The season is beginning. No more all that extra talk. It is time to talk Cowboys this season. Let's go. Let's get it. Somebody has got to come and talk some sense into Cowboy fans. I don't understand. Yeah, I'm talking slang today. I'm talking mad mess. I don't understand it. Why is everybody up in arms about the stuff that Jerry Jones is saying? What is Jerry Jones saying that is surprising anybody in the grand scheme of things? How can anybody be surprised? I released a video yesterday. Who didn't know? Jerry Jones is at war with Trayvon Diggs, and Trayvon Diggs is at war with Jerry Jones. Who didn't know that? Who didn't know? Jerry Jones is at war with Michael Parsons' agent, and Michael Parsons' agent is at war with Jerry Jones. Terrence Steele. Who wasn't saying Terrence Steele wasn't playing well necessarily last year? Who wasn't? So how are we surprised by anything that Jerry Jones is saying? I don't understand us. Let me help us. None of this nullifies anything Jerry Jones has done this past offseason. It doesn't nullify what he's done, him and this organization has done as far as trading goes. It doesn't nullify anything they've done as far as the draft goes. It doesn't nullify the George Pickens pick. It doesn't nullify the Marty Schottenheimer coaching decision. It doesn't nullify all the coaches the Cowboys have brought in. It doesn't nullify any of that stuff. Why we tripping? Why we tripping? I'm telling us, in the words of Osa Odigizua, Osa Odigizua said, nothing Jerry Jones says affects the team. Dak Prescott has said, Jerry gonna be Jerry. These players, other ones have said that nothing that Jerry Jones says affects the team on the field. Why are we tripping? This is par for the course. I'm not tripping on this stuff with Jerry Jones. I'm just not gonna trip on it. There is no way that this stuff is going to affect, I just don't believe it's going to affect this team. I do not believe it. I don't believe it for a second. I don't. The Cowboy players, I'm not telling you I love it or like it. What I am telling you, these players are used to it. I'm just telling us it's no big deal to them. Michael Parsons, as much as he's making comments in the doggone court of public opinion, Michael Parsons knows how this goes. And again, as much as we're talking about Jerry, so we're not going to talk about the Dallas media. The questions the Dallas media were asking Jerry Jones. They helped him take this entire interview in a place to where it wasn't as much about football as we probably wanted. I'm just telling them. But again, all we're gonna do is watch this and react to it. That is all we're going to do. Because I'm telling you, somebody has just got to talk some sense. I'm not saying I agree with Jerry, but I think we got to break down things Jerry says a little bit more than face value, because nothing Jerry says you really can take at face value. When Jerry says things, man, you got to peel back layers. You have to peel back layers. I'm telling us. We're going to get us a roll call in here real quick. And as people come in, they can catch it, and we're going to get this thing going. Let's get this. Let's get our roll call going. Let's go. John Jones in the crib. What's up?
Yo, G, bless him.
Man, this thing with Malcolm, Jamal, Warner, John Jones is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Man, y'all bear with me today. I have been doing some upgrades, and there is something not quite working right with my software. And I've been working with this on and offline, and I can. Y'all work with me today. All right, John Jones, appreciate you. Yeah, this thing with Malcolm Jamal Warner, very, very sad today. Freak accident sounds like. Cowboys Nation 600. Yes, well, Uncle G, what's happening? Let's go. What up, Brother Roderick? Good to see you. Keith in the building. Yes, sir. Appreciate you being back. Davion Wallace, he said, what up? I ain't mad at all. It's about time to me. Let's go, Davion Wallace. I'm not mad either. I don't understand all the outrage. I don't understand it. Reenan, what up? Doing good. The ghost of Mike McCarthy, he said, yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, let's go. Yes, sir. Let's get it, Star Power. We about to get into it. Mike McCarthy, he said the pads are almost on. Yes, sir. Looks like they go on tomorrow. Jared Thomas, number one Dak Prescott fan, back in the crib. I'm number two. Jared says, I'm not worried about Jerry Jones. I'm not worried about how the team as a whole is how they help Dak. He said, think about this. Dak's floor when he's healthy himself can be argued as high mark for Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, Dak Prescott, I still believe top 5 quarterback in this league. Warren Duncan, what up? Jim Van Meter, what up with you? Let's go. We about to get this thing going. Davion Wallace said they had to deal with Michael Parsons in March. They are still fuming. Why we got here. Davion Wallace, I'm telling you, I think this is exactly one of the issues that's going on. Is that Micah and Jerry, I believe, had a deal. And David Mulugeta stepped in and said, nah, this ain't what I want. The minister, what up with you? I love what you're doing, fam. Keep it up. The minister, God bless. Yes, sir. Let's go. Appreciate you all. Let's get rocking with this. Ron Hanna, Mr. 47, what up? Let's go. Training camp underway. I'm ready. Let's go. All right, we finna get into this training camp video. Man, this thing got people unnecessarily tense. And don't get me wrong, it's going to be great content. It's going to be great content for all of the Cowboys content creators. It's going to be great content for the Dallas Cowboy haters. It is what it is. And Jerry Jones understand. I told us this when I first started this channel. Let me tell you what Jerry Jones understands. Jerry Jones understands uniquely the Dallas Cowboys are different than every team in the NFL. Not just because we do things different. Uniquely, because we are the Dallas Cowboys. It was like this before Jerry came on. My uncle used to tell me this when Tom Landry and Tex Schramm was running this thing. The Dallas Cowboys has two fan bases. The fans that hate the Cowboys and the fans that love the Cowboys. Jerry Jones plays to both fan bases. Jerry is absolutely genius. Jerry plays to both fan bases. Jerry plays to the haters. Jerry plays to the lovers. He does. And so some of the things that he gave in this press conference, it is going to be content for lovers and haters of the Cowboys. And it all depends on how everybody's going to look at it. but I'm going to try to make some sense of it because I think there are some things that are being said by Jerry Jones that it's a little bit deeper than. Don't think for a second that Jerry is foolish. I would love to be as foolish as Jerry Jones in some respects. You don't become a billionaire by being foolish. We got to stop using those type of terms when we're talking about Jerry Jones. The man is not a billionaire on accident. The man is a billionaire on purpose. And everything Jerry says, everything Jerry does, Jerry has a purpose behind it. And I've been saying this since I started this channel. It don't mean you have to like it. Don't mean you have to like it. It don't mean you have to be able to make sense of it. You can say anything you want to say about Jerry, but he's richer than you. You don't have to like Jerry, but he's richer than you. He's richer than me. And he's not richer than us by being dumb. And so the stuff Jerry does, well calculated. Well calculated. Jerry knows exactly what he's doing. And I'm telling you, we got to give this media, everybody's all on Jerry. What are you going to say about the media? What kind of questions were they asking Jerry today? I mean, ask some stuff about cartoons and Emmys. Come on, bruh. You got the opening training camp press conference. I understand you want to ask a few questions about contracts. I understand it. But can we get down to some brass taxes? Let's talk some football. Now, Jerry said in this press conference, it's all football. Well, he's right to a degree. Because with Jerry, it is all football. Even the soap opera part to Jerry is football. So let's tune in. Let's listen to some of this stuff that Jerry says. And then we're going to get this thing going. Let me read a comment from Davion Wallace. I think you are right on point. He says, classic Jerry. Straight up facts. Classic Jerry. I don't know any other way to slice it. Classic Jerry. 1,000% classic Jerry. Jerry didn't say anything that, in my opinion, that should have surprised anybody. Because I'm telling you right now, oh no, they're furious. They're furious with Trayvon Diggs. You better believe it. They are furious with Trayvon Diggs. And and there are people out there advocating for Trayvon Diggs. I ain't mad at you. You can advocate for him all you want to, but I'm gonna tell you this: he done here. I've been saying that. Ain't nothing new if you been here. How long have I been telling y'all? I said this months ago. Diggs done here. Diggs done here. Unless Diggs comes, I'm telling you, unless Diggs come back and make some like incredible plays this season, man, Diggs better make plays to get us to the Super Bowl. Because short of that, Diggs done here. They are done with Diggs. And let's get into the video and we'll kind of talk in between it. Warren Duncan, appreciate that super chat. Yes, sir. Richard Owens in the crib. What's going on with you? Ty Howard, what up? All right, let's play this. Let's get into this press conference. I've listened to a pretty good amount of it. But let's check it out. Jerry Jones ain't saying nothing new.
Welcome to camp. Again, same format as we typically use. Flag me down. I'll make a note and I'll call on you. Okay, so wait till I call on you. And we'll roll through here what we need to get done. So with that, we will start off with Calvin.
Good morning, Calvin. How we doing, buddy?
Tyler Smith said yesterday he thinks this is a Super Bowl team. This is for Jerry and Steven. Your thoughts of all the moves that you've made, you think this is a roster that can help you achieve your goals?
Tyler's one of the most intelligent guys in the NFL. And
yes, sir,
if he's
Davion
thinking
Wallace.
that way, I'll go right along with him. But I think that we've addressed many areas that bit us as I look at what last year was about. y'all are going to ask about some of those, I'm sure, here today. But I think we've addressed them in a good way that will make us better. Having Dak under center is a good place to start, to begin with.
I got one more.
Now, this was one of the best answers that Jerry made this day. And this is why I say people have to be careful. I'm gonna tell you something about us. I've learned. I'm sorry. I've learned this about Dallas Cowboy fans, even more so being a content creator. Dallas Cowboy fans are never satisfied, and I'm talking about in the worst way. Dallas Cowboy fans are never satisfied in the worst way. I don't care what the team does. There are people in this fan base, no matter what, all they are going to do is complain. That is all they're going to do. And they're going to always argue. And the thing that is amazing to me, they always argue under the guise that they're smarter than you. You're wrong. You're the dumb one. You do things for the views, the clicks, the likes, the paychecks. They make every excuse for your success, that your success isn't real, but also their failure isn't real. How do you be more successful than people who are talking bad about you? How do you be more successful than them? But they're saying that they're actually doing it right. And so they're basically saying you're getting rewarded for being wrong, and we're getting penalized for being right. What? Stop it. Y'all can look at these glasses half full or half empty. I'm not telling anybody. I'm not playing this game with folk. I'm not telling folk who to listen to. I mean, I'm just telling us about this, some of the people in this fan base. They even try to tell people who to listen to. I'm not telling you who to listen to. You listen to who you want to. Do some of your own research, and then you come to the conclusions of right and wrong. But I've learned something about some of the people in this fan base. All they do is complain, and everything is negative under the guise of keeping it real. This opening answer by Jerry Jones, that is the answer. That is the best answer of the day. That is the one right there that we actually should be hanging on. But I understand how some people play this game too. Some people try to play this game on the negativity end because they think the negativity end is going to bring them certain things too. I'm not worried about playing it on either end. All I'm going to tell y'all is this. I am not going to hate Jerry Jones. I'm not going to hate our front office. Does it mean I agree with everything the front office does? No. But I am not going to hate the front office because we're talking about a press conference. But did you hear Jerry in that opening? We have taken measures to be better than we were last year. Can we give Jerry that? Can we give Jerry that? And some of the stuff that Jerry is talking about in this press conference, I understand some of the things Jerry is saying, it's out of frustration. It is. It's out of frustration. Because in actuality, if you peel your feelings back, Jerry really spoke facts for the most part of this press conference. Jerry spoke facts, but I also think Jerry spoke some of his feelings. Now, it's amazing to me that we can speak our feelings about Jerry Jones, but then when Jerry Jones speaks his feelings, we're mad. But that opening answer from the question by Calvin Watkins, I don't understand why the Dallas media, because we keep talking and blaming Jerry Jones. My issue is why didn't the Dallas media keep going down that road? Hey, Jerry, matter of fact, you're talking about all the things the Cowboys have done to make this team better. Because if I'm there, this is where I'm going. Hey, Jerry, all the things that you just talked about to make this team better, can we talk some more about those things? Let's get into specifics, Jerry, of what you did. What were you thinking when you made all the trades before the draft? What were you thinking when you picked up the free agents? What are your thoughts, Jerry, on Kyer Elam? Brian Schottenheimer, what are your thoughts on this? Why were they not asking these questions? One thing I know about Jerry Jones, you want to play stupid games? Jerry gonna give you stupid prizes. This is why people love talking to Jerry. And this Cowboys media, they were asking the kinds of questions to garner foolishness. Calvin Watkins, love that question. I don't understand why these people who get to ask the questions, why didn't they continue down that road? Why didn't they? I don't understand it. Davion Wallace, he said, Facts G, Cowboys Nation needs to really learn how to enjoy the ride. Straight up. I'm sorry. Davion Wallace, Jerry Jones, I don't care what anyone says. Jerry Jones has done way too much this offseason. Because I'm telling y'all right now, that George Pickens trade, that's Jerry Jones. That George Pickens trade is Jerry Jones. I'm telling them straight up, that's Jerry Jones. And I am telling you, that trade is going to define this season. It's going to define this season. I talked about it in a video I previously released of every move that they made this past offseason. Or you can basically call it end season. The season started in March. It is not only the move of this team. Let me tell y'all something if you don't understand what I'm telling you. George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys may absolutely be one of the top 5 moves in the NFL this entire season. Tell me another one. Tell me another move that is more impactful than George Pickens coming to the Cowboys. George Pickens coming to the Cowboys have made the Dallas Cowboys into an almost semi-super team. I don't think there's a better wide receiver duo. Now, Ryan Clark, he says the Dallas Cowboys are number 2. I don't think they're number 2. I think the Dallas Cowboys have the best wide receiver duo in football, bar none. You start talking about Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb, 2 or 3. You can flip-flop that any kind of way you want to. George Pickens and T. Higgins. George Pickens and T. Higgins. I mean, if you ask me, based on productivity, based on dog, if you ask me who I'm taking out of T. Higgins, and this is not just because he's with the Cowboys, you ask me who I'm taking, T. Higgins or Pickens, I would have picked Pickens all day long. And because I have Pickens above T. Higgins, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are on their way to being the number 1 wide receiver duo in football. Jerry Jones did that. And I don't understand why during this press conference, they didn't continue down that road. Hey, Jerry, what we want to know is about the people who are here right now. We want to know about the moves y'all have made. We want to know more about what is your expectations in training camp. You know, what are you feeling about? Fill in the blank player. But these media members, they took this interview in places people are mad at Jerry. I'm wondering to myself, what are they doing? Crazy to me. Crazy to me. Let me read some more of these comments. Douglas Harrison said, Jerry has finally woke up. I'll give him that, G. He spoke the truth. Douglas, see, you saying the part that I'm saying. We might not like, some people may not like what Jerry said. But the crazy part is, Jerry was basically speaking truth. Maybe you don't speak some of that stuff out loud, but Jerry was speaking truth. Ron Hanna said, G, we're leaps and bounds better than last year. This roster is built to compete, in my opinion. Facts. Ron Hanna, the same man who people telling you to hate is the same man who did that. That's the crazy part. The same man that people are going to now be hating on is the same man that did that. Davion Wallace, Dallas media had an agenda today, and that was for sure. Straight up facts. Tell him again, Davion Wallace. How do we get the opening presser and they're not asking nothing hardly about football? Nothing. The opening statement was the best football statement to me that was made today. TME greatness. Facts. I'm telling us. My man Daniel M. in the crib. What's going on? Douglas Harrison. Jerry went in on Diggs professionally. He also put Mike and Dak on spotlight as far as leadership. Douglas, why is anybody surprised that Jerry went in on Trayvon Diggs? Why is anybody surprised? You know the crazy part is, guys? Daniel Lee, my right-hand man. You know what's the crazy part is to me? It was in Trayvon Diggs' contract. So it's in your contract that if you don't work out with the team or you don't rehab with the team, that you're going to miss, what was it, 84% of the time or something like that? If you know you going to miss money, you still going to do it? And everybody mad that you did what you were not supposed to do? And people mad? Be mad all you want to. I can't tell you how to feel. All I can tell you is it's crazy. It's crazy to me. Go sign a contract on your job, and they tell you, hey, if you miss 4 days over the next 90 days, and I'm talking about coming hell or high water, you miss 4 days over the next 90 days, we gonna dock you $3 of your salary per hour. And then it happens and you're not surprised? You mad? Stop it. Stop it. Ron Hanna, this Cowboys offense is top 5 hands down as long as everyone is healthy. The real question is our defense. Straight up. Straight up. I'm in total agreement with you. Jack Libb said, gee, this press conference got me rolling so hard. Hey, man, dang it, this press conference to me is crazy. And I was laughing at, why are people so mad about this? Why are people so mad? Jerry Jones is stating facts, but he's also in his feelings. This is no surprise. Douglas Harrison said, only reason I agree with Ryan Clark is because we haven't actually seen it on the field yet. But by week 4, I hope you're right, G. Yeah, we got to get it on the field. I agree with you, Douglas. Daglium said people on Law Nation's been putting they been putting you in timeout, Daglium. Hey, you ain't got to worry about it here. We ain't doing no timeouts. We ain't doing no timeouts. Somebody got to speak. Somebody got to talk different than everybody else. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon with this. I just don't think that the stuff that Jerry is saying is true. I don't know. Maybe he shouldn't have said something, but it is what it is. Man, let me tell you, them old folks had a saying. Where you show out was where you get wore out. You show out, man, I can remember I can't remember many days because it didn't take much for me. You show out in the grocery store you want to. You get your back knocked out. Star Power says CD and GP just as good a combo as any other. Our offense going to be real explosive. Straight up. Straight up. Mills 36, Stephen Jones said in 7 months ago in January, we build the best roster in the league. He's still working. Mills 36, in the crib, what up? He's still working. Richard Owen said, one thing that I know for sure is that George Pickens is a dog and he will make CD better. Straight up. I called it in my video early today. Elevation by alleviation. CeeDee Lamb is going to make George Pickens better, and George Pickens is going to make CeeDee Lamb better. They are the perfect complementary wide receivers. They're going to be off the chain. Blue Star, what up with you? Yes, sir. We talk about this press conference. Let's roll some more of it. My man, Poobie D, what up? Let's roll some more of it. Poobie D said Jerry said words, but not talking about nothing. Poobie D. But let's say this, though. The Dallas media, they were not asking football questions. And because they're not asking football questions, Jerry is just, they gave Jerry time to say, Jerry said what he wants to say. The basement, Jerry's stirring the pot. I ain't listening to Jerry. The basement boys in the crib. I ain't mad at Jerry. This is par for the course. Jerry ain't saying nothing any different than we've heard him say before. Daniel M., Jerry's saying stuff like he always does. Daniel M., what is he saying any different? Keek said, we know the media is messy. Keek, that's the part nobody's talking about. These questions they were asking were just dumb. I mean, just dumb questions. Let's get into some more of this. I'm sorry, I'm on the red already. Man, I'm telling you, off the first question, they got me tripping off the rip on this. Hold on, let's keep going. Hold on.
Micah Parsons, do you expect him, even though he's here, do you expect him to practice until he gets a contract finalized?
Well, everybody here is under contract. Everybody. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. A lot of people don't realize something. This answer right here Jerry made is true. It's a true statement. Let me tell y'all something. This is not like some of the years where the Cowboys are actually like there's a player that may not be under contract. Or a player's about to go into free agency. Micah Parsons is under contract. Period. Micah Parsons is under contract. And the NFL, this is not a Jerry Jones and Dallas Cowboys issue. The NFL, if they don't do something, I'm just telling us again, the agents are going to be running this league. So if a player can get to the last year of his deal and just say he's not playing, well, then it's really not a 4 or 5 year deal. And if you sign your 5th year option, you have basically agreed to play. You're under contract. I actually don't have to give you an extension. Now, I'm not against Michael Parsons getting an extension because I wish the Cowboys would get this nonsense. I wish it would have been done long ago. And me and Poobie D, we talked about this last time. Hey, the moment this dude would have started talking about I don't have to be the highest paid, boy, let me tell you something. There would have been nobody did a contract quicker than me. When Michael Parsons, nobody wants to talk about. When Michael Parsons was talking about I don't have to be the highest paid. When Michael Parsons was talking all that stuff, I'd have got that contract done so quick, it'd have made people's heads spin. Michael Parsons would have made that comment on a Wednesday. I'd have had him signed on Friday. But Michael Parsons, I believe, plays a part in this too, because I think that him and Jerry had an agreement of some kind. Now, Jerry ought to know better too. You don't do contracts without agents because nobody's going to hardly let you do it. But where Jerry could have did better, where Steven could have done better, is get the deal done early. You didn't have to wait until the end of the season. You should have done it the moment he started talking all that nonsense on ESPN. Should have did it then. But nevertheless, Jerry is saying something that is actually factual, even if people don't like it. Michael Parsons signed a 5th-year option, if I'm not mistaken. So by signing the 5th-year option, he's under contract. That's fact. You don't have to like that. Nobody has to like it. He's under contract. Now, the thing that I don't like about what Jerry is doing, bro, if you're not serious, I just say don't even play these games. Don't even play these games if you're not serious. Because if you know you just going to bow down and sign whatever Michael Parsons wants you to sign, David Mulugeta wants you to sign, then sign it and shut up and get on about it. But if it's me, if I'm going to take the stance that Jerry is taking, I must be willing to say that if Michael Parsons doesn't want to sign the deal that we want, then he going to play that 5th-year option. And if he don't play that 5th-year option, then he going to lose money. And then next year, he's still not going nowhere because we'll still throw 2 more franchise tags. We'll either throw franchise tags on him or we'll trade him. I'm not telling y'all this is what I want to do. I'm just telling us that if it's a negotiation, then you better be willing to go to those links. Because if you're not willing to go to the links that I just explained, man, it's no point in even doing this. Sign this man tonight, bow down whatever you're going to do, and let's get this thing going. And I'm tired of hearing the media talking about it. Did I not tell y'all? I haven't done another video on this dumbness with Michael Parsons. Because I told you, I'm not doing another deal. I'm not doing another video on this dumbness with Michael Parsons. I think the whole situation is dumbness. I got a problem with Michael Parsons because he was saying foolish stuff, talking about it. I don't have to be the highest paid. You know what they say about the player with the highest contract, who's making the most money. You can't put players around him. This man had me livid talking about there's no difference between 30 and 40 million. It's strange to me that everybody seems to see a difference between 8.5 million and $9 million. It's strange to me that Trayvon Diggs is hot over 500,000. Don't tell me there's no difference between 30 and 40 million. And then calling Jerry your man, you talking to him without your agent? I was livid about that and nobody tripping on it. No, I'm tripping on that. You hired your agent for a reason. You don't talk no football business without your agent. None. Don't talk football business without your agent. Jerry is mad because I'm telling you, him and Michael was talking football business. And that's what you're hearing spewing out of this press conference today. And that's why people can get mad at Jerry all they want to. But the truth is, this man is under contract. Now, let's just keep it 100% real. So Michael signs the contract for what? Why not just say I'm not signing the contract? Extension or nothing. Because to sign the extension, extension or nothing. Because to sign the 5th-year option, can we keep it real? To sign the 5th-year option, and then if it goes to a point that you're going to be willing not to play, you're going to miss the checks anyway. So if you really want to play the game, play the game. I know they use these 5th-year options as placeholders. But why even do that? If you know you're not going to play under a 5th-year option, explain to me why you signed it. Why do you sign it? I'm telling you, this is where Jerry is, man. I'm telling you, this is where this dude is. This is where this dude is. I'm telling you. I'm gonna come back to your comments. I said, listen to this answer, then we're gonna come back.
Yes, and so that's what that is. From the standpoint of, let's say, what happens relative to, I'm looking at the entire NFL when I say this, and that's players that are under contract and teams looking to make it better for the team and for the player. In terms of that, that is incumbent if you're in that price range. When you're up there in that top 10%, so to speak, of the league, and that top quartile of your team, leadership is really big. And leadership exhibits himself when you're negotiating as well. And so I'm appreciative of Micah being here. I am. And it's incumbent upon us all. We've got a player that we've docked him for not being here during off-season workout, as you well know. And we will fine him for that, because those parts of a contract to go directly toward the leadership that he's is as a player relative to the rest of the team, and certainly, obviously, to our fans as well. So I'm big into, and not alone either, I'm big into showing anything you can do for leadership if you're going to be one of these guys that are in the top drawer of all the money.
So let's just break down what Jerry just said. He's talking about, of course, he's glad Micah Parsons is there. This is nothing new. This is a page out of Dak Prescott's book. Dak Prescott, of all the people that Jerry has been haggling with deals with over all these years, the only one not to hold out, not to miss practices, not to miss anything is Dak Prescott. Now, Micah Parsons, I don't even understand why Micah Parsons even put some of the stuff he puts online. The one thing that I believe about Jerry Jones, I believe that Jerry Jones wants Micah Parsons to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. I think he wants him to be that. I think that Jerry has some issues with David Mulugeta. I think David Mulugeta, because Jerry keeps disrespecting him, I think David Mulugeta, he is trying to get as much from Jerry as he can. But in the grand scheme of things, Jerry already wanted Micah Parsons to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. He already wanted it, because if he didn't want it, Jerry could have fixed it to where he wasn't. Jerry did the same nonsense with Dak Prescott. Waited and waited and waited. Jerry could have easily signed Dak Prescott before. He waited. Same thing with Micah Parsons. I never believed the nonsense with Trey Lance. Never. Never. I never thought it was going to materialize. I thought it was one of the dumbest things that Jerry, the front office did. And I don't think, again, they were not doing it to get rid of Dak. They were doing it, I guess, to see if they could lower the price on Dak. Understand, Dak has got the same representatives of athletes first, too. I mean, they keep breaking the bank on these contracts. But at the end of the day, I believe Jerry wanted Dak, in the grand scheme of things, to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. Just stupid stuff. And it's the same thing with Michael Parsons. I believe Michael Parsons is going to get his money. Period. End of story. Michael's going to get his money. I think this issue between Jerry and Michael is not between Jerry and Michael as much as it is between Jerry and David Mulugeta. Because that's the one that Jerry really keeps disrespecting. Now, he gives Michael Parsons his credit because Jerry is saying the same thing he told Tony Romo and guys like him. And I'm starting to believe that Jerry even talks about this to these guys behind closed doors. Like, hey, you know what? I'm going to pay you regardless. But there are going to be some things that are going to be happening, and you might not get paid this time. So just stay patient or whatever the case may be. I think they talk about this behind closed doors. And that's why I be laughing, when I see little stuff about Michael Parsons. He posted the thing that J.J. Watt posted today. Man, I ain't even listening to this stuff. Stupid. It's absolute stupid stuff. The Michael Parsons issue is Jerry and David Mulugeta. Dang Lim said, did you see the photo of Jerry Jones flipping the bird to the media? Yeah, acting like a gangster. Yeah, I seen that picture already floating around. Booba D said, that's true. Only asking contract questions. They're not going to speak on it. I mean, it's crazy. Booby, I don't even understand why they asking on the contract stuff. It didn't make sense to me. I would have been more interested in some of these players. Because I'm telling you, I'm not even, this Michael Parsons stuff to me is dumb. It's dumb. Michael Parsons in camp, just like he said he was, no surprise. He's probably going to be an in-camp holdout. He'll probably participate. I'm not going to be surprised. Michael Parsons will probably participate in some walkthroughs. Probably not going to do anything that's going to be strenuous. And we'll probably see this deal get done. Now, I've been hearing that the deal is not going to get done to the end of training camp, which to me just still don't make sense. Jerry, if you gon' do it, bro. Just do it. It don't make sense to me unless you're willing to take it to the links that I talked about. Bro, unless you're willing to say, hey, man, we dug in on this contract. You playing out the last year of your contract. You don't ball out. I tell you what we gonna do. We go trade you. We gonna trade you. Or you gonna sign the contract we want. If you're not willing to take it to that, man, Jerry, I'll leave it alone. Just leave it alone, Jerry. Robert Dudley, I'm with you. For as much as Jerry has done a lot of things right, because I am not going to be a hypocrite. No, Jerry has done a lot of things right this past down off season. But as it pertains to this, Jerry is being Jerry. No surprises to me. That's why when Jerry was saying this stuff, I was like, why are people up in arms about this stuff, man? Why are people up in arms about this stuff? But let me get to Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs. Jerry just threw this man under the bus. Rolled over him and backwards. Jerry just threw this man under the bus. Jerry used Michael Parsons as an example of leadership so he could use Trayvon Diggs as an illustration of a player who is not displaying leadership. And I've been hearing some people arguing for Trayvon Diggs, saying they don't trust the Dallas Cowboys training staff. Well, Trayvon Diggs don't have to trust him, but Tamarion Overshown is trusting him. I don't know if there's a problem with the Cowboys training staff, but I do think in the past players have come back way too early. So I don't really know the whole story on that because I don't think people were saying it was more. I don't think they were saying it was about a problem with the rehabs as much as it was they didn't have enough people per capita. So they didn't have enough people to attend to people as they're rehabbing. So I'm not sure on that, but I can tell you this: the Marion Overshown, he ain't having no problems. Savon Revel Jr. don't seem like he having no problems. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the places the Cowboys actually made some changes during the offseason. They got a new head of the training staff, and I'm sure that's what happened. And Jerry may be a little bit ticked off because even with what we've done, you saying you still don't trust our training staff. So if you don't trust our training staff, okay. Well, we're going to show you. You going to try to bring bad name on us by saying you don't trust our training staff? Well, we're going to exercise the clause that you agreed to in your deal. We're going to take away $500. $500,000 is what it is. Yes, sir. What's going on, Robert Dudley? He said, no seeing you good folks. Yes, sir. Good to be back. Ron Hanna, Dak under contract when he reported for camp. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking that was Dak's last season. It would have been Dak's last season. But he was under contract. Davion said, I know Michael Parsons will get his money, but Jerry saying this today, it might be a little weight on it. Davion, that's what I've already heard. I heard it's going to be a weight on it. Star Power said, don't be surprised if Michael plays his 5th year out. Jerry still has 2 franchise tags to work with. Hey, Star Power. I say that if Jerry's going to sign Michael. But if this is really a negotiation rather than a temper tantrum, Jerry has to be willing to let Michael play on that 5th year option. And then the question becomes, will he play on that 5th year option? I don't think he will. I don't think he'll play on the 5th year option. I don't think he'll play on it. Goes to Mike McCarthy. Star players that hold out during training camp don't really ever see financial fallout because the new deal they end up signing has compensation to make up for it. Usually it's through the signing bonus. Okay. Star Power said, who knows? Maybe Jerry called Michael's bluff and he changed his mind listening to his agent. I can tell you this, Jerry don't like this man's agent. He don't like this man's agent. Goes to Mike McCarthy said NFL owners started that practice long ago. That fault is on them. I agree with you. And that's why I even say with Jerry, bro, if you're going to sign Michael Parsons, please go ahead and do it. Stop trying to make this man show leadership by showing up. Because is he showing up because it's leadership? Or is he showing up because you said, hey, I want you to show leadership by showing up and we're going to go ahead and extend you and you don't have to practice? Is that really leadership? The only one to me that's ever really done this that it seems genuine is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, no matter what, Dak just says, man, I'm rolling up in. I'm going to practice because that's what I do. But I don't understand all the hoopla. It's just crazy to me. It's just stupid. Blue Star says at the end of the day, Dallas fans are stressing. Why? Because this fool Cloud Jones always pays his players when you least expect it. Happened with Dak. Yep. Blue Star. That's why I said I was not going to make another video about Michael Parsons and his contract until he got paid. I just believe for the most part, Jerry's going to pay Michael Parsons. And I don't think it's just because of David Mulugeta. I believe he's paying. I think Jerry wants him to be the highest paid. I do. I think he wants him to be the highest paid, period. Because if he didn't want him to be, he wouldn't be. He wants him to be. I think it's all a facade. I think it's all a facade. I do. Just stupid nonsense. And that's why Michael, he's showing up because I'm sure he knows he's going to get paid. I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry has told him he's going to be paid. If I'm Michael, I'm not reposting another post. I'm not doing nothing but being quiet. Do what I'm gonna do at training camp and watch the money roll in. C-Bay said, regardless of what he said, the GM still ain't paid Mike a dime of what he's worth. Now, not the low number nor the highest paid number, not even a tag. Pay the man. Fifth-year option, though. He's right about he's on the fifth-year option. But again, I think they did have a contract in place, and I think this doggone David Mulugeta, man, I think this dude stepped in and said, heck no. David Mulugeta, and again, these agents, man, we got to realize something. Man, these dudes are out for themselves. They're out for the players, too. But the more money they get the players, the more money they get. Goes to Mike McCarthy. He said, I never recommended anyone in any field, G, to be working blind into the last year of their deal. That's the point in which any corporation should be communicating their future plans for you. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Goes to Mike McCarthy, because you're basically saying that in that last year, he could have a catastrophic injury, correct? Well, that's why I'm I'm just saying for me, if I know that's where I'm going, and I know I'm extremely talented, I'm not signing no 50-year option. I'm just letting you know up front, hey, man, I'm not playing, especially if my performance has been like Micah Parsons. Let's make that point too. Man, my performance been like Micah Parsons. Bro, I'm straight up telling you. I'm not even finna play no games. Man, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Hey, man, I ain't playing on, I'm not signing no 50-year option, and I'm not playing on no 50-year option. So we at a stalemate. I'm telling you, that's where I would be straight up. Bro, I've outperformed my contract because I'm on the other side of this too. Because if you're not performing up to your contract, they can cut you and be done with you. Trade you off to Siberia, whatever they want to do. So for me, I wouldn't even play the game. I'd be like, man, I'm not paying no 50-year option, bro. Straight up. So we going from there rather than anywhere else. But the whole Michael Parsons discussion, that's why I'm like, I'm not going to do it. We already know this man going to get paid. It's crazy. It's crazy talk. Yeah. Kevin Edwards said, Michael Parsons' contract will be done in September. It's Jerry Ego. He creates a spotlight. Man, that's why I'm like, man, this thing it's crazy to me. Jack Liv said, Kevin Edwards, they did the same thing with Dak last year, and it almost ruined this year's cap. So, again, I'm not even sweating it, especially if I'm Michael Parsons, and I wouldn't be saying anything. Parsons is suited up and is participating fully in training camp today. He lost the contract negotiations. Nah, he ain't lost no contract negotiations. One thing we know, Jerry gonna pay him. I don't think Jerry's not gonna pay him. I think Jerry's gonna pay him. That's why I'm not mad at this stuff Jerry's saying. Jerry gonna pay this man. Poopy D said Micah's there because he's ready to sign his deal. I agree with you, Poopy D. CD top 3 in his money. Dak is top, and Micah should be also. I agree. I absolutely agree. That's why I'm just laughing. This stuff is just stupid to me. Yeah, Poopy D, just sign him and stop playing. It's stupid to me. That's why for me, it's not even a real discussion no more as making content about it. Because you know it's dumb. You know it's dumb. We know how Jerry plays the game, so it is what it is. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry got signed if Jerry signed him a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. I've already heard somebody said he's going to get paid somewhere in August. So C-Bay said going to drag his feet on paying Glenn Pickens, Tyler Smith, just watch. Now, from what my understanding is, they're already working on Ty Smith. I'm sorry, man. Let me play some more of this video. I mean, I'm just laughing because this stuff is so comical to me that even when I listen to bits and pieces, I'm like, and then I'm watching reactions on X and I'm like, what are people mad about? What is Jerry actually saying that's not true or that's so crazy that we're going, wow, I can't believe Jerry said it. Come on, man.
Clarence.
until All City DLLS. I know it takes two to tango, and every contract is different. But in March, you talked about Micah and it.
Now, hold on. See, they're the ones that keep the contract talks going. They're the one that's keeping the contract talks going because they're waiting on a headline from Jerry. This is what this is all about, to get the headline from Jerry. Man, if I'm here, man, I'm done with this contract talk, bro. Man, I want to know about some of these other players. I want to ask Brian Schottenheimer some questions about, hey, what are you thinking on this? What do you think about, hey, what do you think about this in Jaden Blue? I want to know some of that stuff.
You had everything in place as far as an agreement mentally on the numbers. Here we are in July, and you still haven't had a deal. Any frustration of why a deal has not been done?
Not at all. Not at all. We do, and I don't mean this, I have things undone, dangling participles. I bet I have 20 of them every day in some pretty serious areas. You can't have it all done at the same time. It doesn't work that way. And so this is just a part of it.
Now, I am going to disagree with Jerry on this. Howie Roseman has shown you can have it done all at the same time. No, you can have it done at the same time. Jerry don't like to do it all at the same time. We got to be honest on that.
Of it. We've got, again, I want to mention that we're here with everybody under contract. 2 years ago, we were here, and I think Zach Martin wasn't here. You had a situation, although we had a contract, so you worked through that. I was looking at this documentary, and it spent some time going back in the Emmitt Smith negotiation and what was going on there. There's nothing new about what we're talking about here today relative to contracts. That's been going on a long time. Now, if you say, well, if you don't get him in, are you going to lose the first two games and then go on to win the Super Bowl? Well, we'll take that. That's what happened with them.
No. Now, hold on a second. Somebody said this earlier. Jerry is doing Jerry things. This ain't nothing new Jerry's doing. Is it frustrating that Jerry keeps doing it? Maybe it is. But if you know the end result, what's the problem? Michael's in camp. I'm sure Michael is not going to do anything to put himself in harm's way before he signs on the dotted line. To me, Michael Parsons' contract is no longer news. I couldn't have took the Michael Parsons questions beyond one question. It's not news. Jerry, when Michael gonna get signed? I don't know. Okay, well, let me ask you this. I'm done with the Michael stuff if it's me. I can't believe. I don't think there's not. I couldn't find me a Dallas media member who could tell you with a straight face they believe that Jerry Jones is not going to sign Michael Parsons and this is a real contract negotiation. Come on, man. I wouldn't even be wasting time on these questions, man. I ain't wasting time on these questions. All right, let me read a couple more here. Kevin Edwards. He said, I believe Michael's contract is probably done. It is done. I think the only thing, Kevin Edwards, and I'm not in the room, I haven't been a fly on the wall, but if I'm a betting man, Jerry is not concerned about the dollar amount he's going to pay Michael Parsons. I think he wants him to be the highest paid. I think where they're probably fighting and arguing are the number of years on the deal. I think that's probably where the tug of war is. The number of years on the deal. Michael probably wants the 4-year. Jerry and Steven probably wants the 5-year. That is probably, because I don't think it's the money. I don't think it's the dollar amount per year. I don't think Jerry's ever been concerned about that. I don't think Jerry's ever been concerned about that part. It's the number of years. I believe that's where this is. I believe Michael wants to hit that market earlier because again, let's go back to the ghost of Mike McCarthy's point. So if we're saying that every time the player gets to the last year of his deal, that he gonna come back and say, I've outplayed this part of my deal, so I'm not playing on the last year of my deal. You signed Michael Parsons to a 4-year deal. The reality is it's a 3-year deal. That's the reality. So if I sign him to a 5-year deal, the reality is it's a 4-year deal. I got 4 years before he comes back to the table versus 3 years. And that's a very short amount of time. That's a very short amount of time. So Jerry and Steven, they want to have Michael Parsons, it sounds like, until he's about 30 years of age. And they want to have all the power over him for basically all the prime of his career. And it sounds like that they're saying, we don't want to let you have that kind of power. What up with you, Hallelujah? Hallelujah said Jerry hasn't taken this man 10 months or so. Man, the thing is, Hallelujah, Jerry hasn't been talking to the media in a long time. I think that's the issue. And Jerry is now saying, shoot, man, it's time for me to get some talk time in. Now it's time for me to say some stuff I've been wanting to say for a while. Shoot. Dang Lim said, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to make any more moves. Oh, yeah, they are. When camp starts, because they seem content with what they have and have major concerns. Oh, no, Dang Lim, they've already brought in, what was it, 4 pass rushers? I don't even understand the whole pass rusher infatuation, but the Cowboys have brought in 4 more pass rushers. Oh, no, they're not done, Daniel Lim. They're not done. I'm telling you, Cowboys are not done. I think if the Cowboys figure out a way to, I think everywhere short of wide receiver and quarterback, man, I don't think the Cowboys are done. If they can figure out a way to either add more depth, or let's say this, Daniel, maybe they don't bring in more depth, but maybe they improve the depth. The Cowboys are going to continue to make moves, I believe, until the beginning of the season. I'm starting to think more and more that the Cowboys may be viewing this as a Super Bowl season. I'm thinking more and more they may be viewing this as a Super Bowl season. Douglas says Jerry loves his guys. Facts. My only reason I can think of is he wants to make sure Mike is the highest paid non-quarterback. I've been saying this. It's the only thing that makes sense. Hey, Douglas, they're not arguing about money. I guarantee you, contrary to anyone probably believes, I don't believe it's money. I don't think it's the dollar amount. I don't even think the Cowboys care if they pay Michael Parsons $43 million a year. I don't think that's an issue for them. I don't think they care if they have to pay Mike $125 million guaranteed. I don't think that's the issue. I think it's the number of years. I think that's where the holdup is. The number of years. Straight up. They want to be able to figure in those void years and plus have him. Because again, if we're thinking the way, because I do think this is how people think, the exact way that the ghost of Mike McCarthy is kind of talking. When I get to if it's a 4-year deal, when I get to the end of the 3rd year, and if I put up monster numbers, I'm not playing the 4th year. I'm talking if I put up monster numbers, I'm not playing the 4th year. No, 4th year, I'm holding out to get the next big contract. That's what I'm doing. So if you sign a 4-year, it's a 3 years. You sign a 5 year, it's a 4-year. Because that seems to be what these players are doing. Uncle Charles, what up? He said Trayvon Diggs is the employee of Jerry Jones. Is the employee of Jerry Jones the employer? If he wants you to rehab at the Star, that's what you're supposed to do. Tell him, Uncle Charles. Tell him straight up. And if you say you don't trust the training staff, and when they dock you, don't be mad about it, because it is what it is, because that's a decision that you made. That's a decision that you made. So it is what it is. It's straight up. Call Alder. He said he's showing up. So so he won't get fined. Hey, man, it's all a game to me in this at this point. That's why, man, the Michael Parsons contract is not even, it don't make sense to me. It goes to Mike McCarthy said using a franchise tag on anyone right now would be a bad financial move because Pickens still needs to get re-signed. Yeah, I think they're going. I'm just saying it for what it is, and everybody don't have to agree with me. George Pickens is the most pivotal move the Cowboys have made this season. You have to keep Pickens. Barring what happens, we got to see what happens this season. But if this dude is anywhere close to where we think he's going to be, he's the one. You right goes to Mike McCarthy. You're going to have to keep him. You are straight up. Lord Nova 85, what up with you? Yeah, they're going to have to keep him. Straight up. All right, let's listen to some more of this thing with Jerry. It's comical to me, I'm telling you, that people are like tripping on some of this stuff because I'm like, man, this ain't even stuff to trip on.
You brought up Emmett. You know, from the outside looking in, it seems like this has been a pattern of waiting and not getting guys done.
It wouldn't be hard to, because personally I've been around, Steven's been around.
Now, don't get me wrong. Clarence is asking some good questions or a couple of good questions about the contract, but to me, the contract is a waste of time. Yes, Jerry Jones waits on contracts. And especially when you're not giving Jerry what he wants. So it is what it is. No one is surprised about this Michael Parsons thing. I just don't think anybody's surprised. Calling Jerry Jones out on the obvious. Okay, cool. You can call him out on the obvious. It don't make it any less obvious. It don't make it any more obvious. It's kind of like what we all kind of knew. So for me, it's not a big deal from this perspective. That's Jerry. So for me, I would have been asking more football questions because I think the fan base, and this is what I appreciate about some of our fan base. Some of our fan base are kind of thinking like me that we don't even want to deal with no more of this contract stuff. It is what it is. Jerry waits. The player, they know what's going on. I'm not even dealing with it. All I want to know is about the players who you do have the contracts on and the big camp battles we're going to have. I want to talk. I would have been really wanting to just, hey, Brian Schottenheimer. I would have been wanting to talk to Brian Schottenheimer more. That's where I would have been. More football stuff. More football stuff. Daniel M., you're exactly right. Henderson is not paid yet. The Cowboys are not the... See, this is the issue too. Daniel M., I know where you are. We think the Dallas Cowboys are the only one who does this stuff. Somebody will post something, hey, yep, the Eagles get it done early. Kansas City Chiefs, somebody posted something about them. But then there are other teams, they don't get it done early. Whole lot of other teams don't always get it done early. It is what it is. But we know with the Cowboys, everything gets more magnified. But again, I think Michael will be out there. He'll get time at some point. He'll get signed at some point soon. So it'll all be good. But again, all the contract talk and Michael Parsons stuff.
Relative to anything to do with a contract or money since 1989. It wouldn't be hard to characterize anything in there as a pattern. Now, if you can make some sense out of that, all that period of time and the ups and downs and the nuances of individual player and a contract and of those times, then that's getting pretty good. When you're charting trends, you take those tops and you go and you get your trend from all those tops. But underneath them is all this up and down, up and down. Looks like a recording of a voice, high and low. And so that's just what it is. And you just look at a trend. I've had times when I should have gotten up.
Let me just sum this up. Do we not realize that Jerry is just kind of like saying, I'm not really worried about this contract because it's going to get done because it's pretty much done? I just look at Jerry Jones' face. Jerry Jones, I know his frustration is more with David Mulugeta, but I think Jerry Jones absolutely loves Michael Parsons. Jerry ain't worried about this contract. That's why I'm just not giving it that kind of, just not going to give it that attention. I'm just tripping on people's reaction. Come on, man. It's just, it is, but it isn't. It's just not that serious. Michael knows he's going to get paid. I understand. Man, you about to become a multimillionaire. I mean, you just kind of sitting there like, okay, I know I am, but I just want to get it. Let's get it. Life isn't promised. I know people don't think on those terms. We just saw what happened to Michael Jamal Warner. I could clearly understand somebody thinking along those lines. But at the end of the day, he gonna get paid. I'm not even tripping on it. And I think that's why Jerry, in all this, whatever he's saying right here, hey man, he gonna get paid. I think that's what he's saying in a nutshell. The Basement Boys, I'm with you. He said, as long as the dogs is on the field, the contracts will handle themselves. I'm not worried about another man's pockets. I care about the results. Straight up. The Basement. That's why I said this stuff, the contract, man, I wasn't doing another doggone video on Michael Parsons' contract. It's done. This dude gonna get paid. Carl said then Parsons won't play football again. Jerry Jones has the hand. You all are like praying into the moon. I heard JJ today. Jerry, yeah, he is. I think he's ticked off. But Carl, I think who he's ticked off at, I think he's ticked off at David Mulugeta, because I think him and Michael Parsons had a deal. I really do. And I think the issue is the years. Blue Star said, man, but both don't they, he says, don't they do their job? Seriously, G, calling him uncle like playing games. Straight up. Straight up. Blue Star, that talk right there, that's the talk that had me furious. You calling the owner your uncle and all this stuff. Boy, I didn't like that stuff. I just thought that was not cool. C-Base said, why claim to be changing the culture, but the GM still moving the same? Now, C-Base, I'm with you. But here's the part where I can have some peace in my mind. Where Jerry didn't move the same is in bringing in players. Where he is moving the same is how he's doing the star player. But again, hey, they got Oso Digizua done. They got Oso Digizua done. And I think what got Oso Digizua done, it makes me wonder, was Oso Digizua listening to Michael Parsons when Michael Parsons said, I don't have to be the highest paid player? Because you know what I heard Oso Digizua say? I don't have to be the highest paid player. I heard Michael Parsons say, there's no difference between $30 and $40 million. Do you know what I heard Oso Digizua say? He didn't think there was a difference between what? I can't remember the number. What? $5 and $10 million, because he liked living in Dallas. He talked about it fits his lifestyle. You know, I think one of the reasons why we got Oso Digizua signed, so we can't just say that Jerry is moving the same totally, because Oso Digizua got done oh so quick. But why did he get done oh so quick? Because he was sounding like Michael Parsons. But Michael Parsons, once Myles Garrett got signed, Michael Parsons stopped sounding like the same Michael Parsons that was talking the way he was talking when Oso Digizua got signed. If Michael Parsons was still talking like that, Michael Parsons, I think this deal would be signed. But again, it's so convoluted. I'm like, that's why I'm like, I don't even understand why these guys gave time to this. And the Dallas media members, they just seem to me like it's like they were not looking for football stuff. And then everybody tripping on Jerry. Like I said, Jerry type person, you play stupid games with Jerry, you're going to get stupid prizes. That's Jerry. Ratio said every time he opens his mouth, he reminds me why I despise him. Jerry can't remain silent long enough. Ratio, though, could they ask him the right questions? I don't think any of us can sit here right now, no matter what Jerry has said. I don't think there's any of us hardly in here right now that will say, yeah, because I don't think Michael Parsons is going to get paid. Man, we all know this dude going to get paid. We all know this dude going to get paid. Straight up. He going to get paid, man. Doug Liv said, gee, the recognizable name that I have heard out of that workout list is James Houston. Yeah. Yeah. And Daniel, I don't even understand bringing in the pass rushers. They got pass rushers galore. I mean, if you're going to talk about bringing in any kind of lineman, I would seriously be looking. I mean, if you could, well, if you're going to get another one anyway, get a one tech. Why not? If you're gonna go out there and keep on messing with the line anyway, just get your one tech. Let's just support Jerry. Jerry is killing it in this interview.
I had times when I did get up and I should have sat down, or times when I should have shut up. So all of that comes to bear. Some of them's been real good. Some of them I would do over again. So that is not that's a wandering way of saying I am not the least concerned about having any dangling participles out here on a contract anywhere.
And the idea that the numbers have gone up as you
see. Why? I understand. I'm not knocking it, but I understand. Jerry knows the numbers have went up. This isn't a numbers game with Jerry. I'm telling you, this is not a numbers game as much as it is, I believe, a year's game. And I think when this is all said and done, this is going to come to fruition. But another one of these contract things. Let me answer Uncle Charles. No, the Cowboys can't walk away from Diggs this year. They would eat. He's got $8.5 million guaranteed money. But at the end of this season, the Cowboys, no more guaranteed money. They're going to save $13 million when they get rid of Trayvon Diggs. Now, the question becomes, I wonder if Trayvon Diggs steps back on the field for the Cowboys. See, this is what happened to DeMarcus Lawrence last year. A lot of people don't understand. DeMarcus Lawrence knew he was not going to be with the Cowboys the following season. So DeMarcus Lawrence basically said he wasn't going to be on a lame duck contract. He wasn't going to play for the Cowboys. He wasn't going to play 90%. He wanted to be 100% healthy so that when he got back on, when other teams came and started looking at him, he'd be 100% healthy. But when Diggs hit that field this year, he will be auditioning for another team.
taking time. Still haven't gotten it done with Watt signing, and certainly after some of the guys signing off season, it doesn't matter that the longer you wait, it seems like the money has gone up on Michael.
Used to price let's say a Buick for, I can remember when they were $5,000, believe it or not. And today I don't know what they sell for, but that's a lot more than $5,000. I've seen them go dead at $5,000, and I've seen them go dead at $50,000. It's just the times you're in, and it's the money you're in. I'm not trying to be cute, but it's all relevant to me.
Now, are you catching what Jerry is saying very simply? Money ain't the issue. You think about a Buick that costs $5,000 a day, or yesterday, $15,000 today. If you really want that Buick, you still gonna pay for it. It's the name of the game.
And again, I don't have any issue. I'm not concerned at all about what our team can be this year and develop into, and what we make of our training camp. I'm not at all concerned about a contract that involves and will affect that in any way. I can't emphasize that enough.
Because Jerry is saying something very simple. Because Jerry feels like, one, everybody's under contract. Two, he knows he's going to sign Michael Parsons. Three, he's made some very good moves this offseason. Four, this team is built to win. Jerry is saying something. This contract, stop worrying about it. It's going to get done. Money isn't the issue. We're going to put a product on the field this year that is absolutely going to play ball. I don't understand why people aren't hearing what Jerry's saying. Now, right here, there should be no more questions about anything contract related. The rest of this thing should have been nothing but player related. Period in the story. This is simple to me. I don't understand why it's not simple to people. Jerry just said in Jerry's way, I want to pay Michael Parsons. It's straight up what he's telling them. I'm not concerned about the price going up. Money ain't the issue. Years and whatever else David Mulugeta is trying to fit in there. But I can tell you this just by listening to Jerry. It's not money. It's not money. That's why Jerry is a concern. I've already said this. They're going to overpay for him. And it's not Michael Parsons' fault, and it don't mean that Michael Parsons ain't worth being paid. But they're going to overpay because Jerry keeps waiting. But Jerry is also telling us something. I ain't tripping on the money. I'm not tripping on the money. The money ain't the issue. That is blatantly obvious. Money is not the issue. I promise you it's years. Alfredo, what's up, my brother? I'm telling you it's years. I guarantee you. Dang Liam, give me Michael with a 4-year deal and a 5th-year option. I think the Cowboys want the 5-year. I think they want the 5-year deal. It can be the only thing. But Jerry just spelled it out to Clarence Hill. You can't spell it out. At least for me, you can't spell it out no clearer. If a Buick cost $5,000 years ago and it's now $55,000, Jerry is just saying so many things. Hey, that's a part of the game. Inflation goes, it comes with the game. Prices going up is a part of the game. That's what Jerry is saying. But he's also saying, but if you really want it, you still gonna buy it. Straight up. Straight up. Aren't you still gonna buy it if you want it? When you want something, money ain't a thing, man. Especially when you got it. Shoo. Especially when you got it. You ain't tripping. I'm telling you. Ratio, don't let your blood be boiling. I'm just telling you, Jerry needs an interpreter. I'm here to help us. I wouldn't even be sweating what Jerry is saying. Jerry knows full well he's paying Michael Parsons. They're going to keep on haggling over the years, more than likely. And then I'm not going to be surprised. He's going to get exactly what he wants. And Jerry's going to be happy. This team is going to be good as it was ever going to be anyway. And that's why Jerry's even saying this. Michael Parsons' contract is not going to affect anything that's going to happen on the field. I can hear exactly what he's saying. He's like, man, why y'all tripping on this? Why y'all tripping on this? He's like, this is nothing. Ain't going to be no problems. Ain't going to be no problems. Let me tell you, the one thing Jerry knows, his opening statement, straight up. Let me tell you, we can be mad at Jerry all we want to. Jerry know this team good.
Todd.
Todd Archer with ESPN. Steven, in the past, you guys have been able to work deals here.
Why? Why? Why did the Dallas media keep asking? I'm sorry. Clarence Hill's question and answer should have summed it up for everybody. But no. Everybody got to get a question in about Michael Parsons. Man, Michael Parsons is at camp. The dude gonna suit up. I promise us he gonna suit up. He not gonna do everything, but he gonna do some of things. He's gonna do some walkthroughs. He'll do some half-speed stuff. I'm sure Michael might even shock everybody and might even go out there for a few plays. Full speed. Why keep asking these contract questions? I'm to the point. Jerry waiting don't even make me mad because it's not changing. And that's what Jerry's even saying. Even Jerry waiting ain't changing nothing. I ain't tripping. But they keep on going with this stuff.
Long-term extensions with guys. Are there plans to talk to Mike's agents while you guys are here and maybe other players as well?
Well, obviously, when you're together here at camp, it makes for a good environment to get some things done before the season starts. At the end of the day, I think, Clarence, you said it best. It does take two. And a lot of times you might be surprised where we might be and where they might have been. where they were wanting to hold. And obviously, I think most players do understand if you're willing to take risk, you're willing to go out on the field and wait a year to do your contract, and you play well and you bet on yourself, then usually that will happen, in a positive way for the player. They understand that.
Now, Steven is explaining something. Catch what he's saying. I don't believe what he's saying, but listen to what he's saying. It's almost like he's saying they would be willing to let Michael Parsons play on that last year of that deal. And if Michael Parsons wants to bet on himself and come back and get more money next year, okay, let's see him. But we all know this is not happening. It's not happening. Dak Prescott has literally been the only player for the Cowboys willing to do that. Dak Prescott's been the only player willing to do it. And I mean willing to do it. Dak's been the only one. Now, as a quarterback, I believe it's a different story. Because a quarterback, we already saw Kirk Cousins, 35 years of age, 34, whatever he is, torn Achilles. This dude came back, got $120 million guaranteed. Aaron Rodgers, torn Achilles, came back, still got big money. You can do that as quarterbacks, especially if you got some skins on the wall to where basically people know, hey, man, before the injury, this dude was good. He's been to the playoffs, won a couple of playoff games. You can get that deal. But when you're talking about a player like a defensive end or someone like that, that could have a huge effect on their career. I don't think Michael would be willing to risk it. I think Michael would hold out all the way before he would even think about coming back and playing on a fifth-year option. But again, I don't understand why all the contract talk, because I think Clarence Hill already summed it up. But y'all have to realize something too. As much as we say we don't like to hear Jerry talk, the media does. The media does, because Jerry gives them headlines. And so they're asking all the headline questions. Because why? Jerry hasn't been talking for months. Jerry's been going for weeks at a time, talking. And so when they get Jerry, they got to keep asking. And it's strange to me, you can tell this is the Jerry Jones press conference. This is the Jerry Jones press conference because all they're talking is contracts.
But no, this is a great environment to look at, not just Micah's situation, but all situations in terms of players that are probably going to be up for contract next year.
Yeah, Tyler Smith.
Being a year where
Brandon Aubrey.
They're either, could be franchised or tendered or whatever that may be. So we're always looking for those opportunities, and certainly the players. We have players that are interested in that, and we'll be working on that while we're here at camp.
And Brian, with Micah, if he doesn't practice while he's doing,
I'm still tripping on everybody tripping on Jerry. Why are the media continuing to ask these questions about contracts? Because I promise you, if I would have got this opportunity, I'm not asking this. And I'm telling you, I noticed something about Brian Schottenheimer, and I could be totally wrong, but I think Brian Schottenheimer was frustrated. I think Brian Schottenheimer was frustrated sitting up here doing all of this doggone contract talk. I think the thing that he wanted to talk about was football. And I noticed the look on his face. He looked like a person that was frustrated. You'll see when he finally starts answering some questions. And I felt like he was a lot shorter than he normally is. I think the man is literally frustrated listening to all this.
if he has a hold in, what do you do?
You should work every day. I mean, however this thing plays out is going to play out. The fact that
look at the look on his face. Y'all tell me the last time you seen Brian Schottenheimer look like this in a press conference. Tell me when's the last time. Of all the press conferences I've seen this man give, I've never seen this look on his face. I think all this in the words of Deion Sanders, all this bull jump talk about contracts and not football. This dude is like, man, I don't want to listen to this stuff. You want to talk about somebody up here because they don't want to get fined? It is Brian Schottenheimer. All bull junk. This whole press conference. The takeaway for me, everybody's mad at Jerry Jones. No. The questions were bull. Just a bunch of dumb questions. Where's the football questions? I would have been more interested in people, again, hey, what do you think, Brian, about them saying Jaden Blue's lazy? I would have wanted to know more football questions. Man, I'm not here to talk to the front office.
Mike is here. He's talked all offseason about wanting to take more of a leadership role. He's talked about wanting to be great. We know he's a great player. And, again, I think that we're excited that he's here. And there's a lot of ways to get this thing done. But like we've said, we're committed to having him take that next step, not just as a player, but as a leader.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the.
Now, it's this statement right here that Jerry Jones makes. I don't understand why people were tripping on this statement. Jerry is just saying something, and it's unsolicited. But Jerry is saying to these reporters that signing a player doesn't guarantee he's going to play. Now, I know people don't like that. It's true. It's true. But I think where Jerry is coming from is y'all keep talking about these contracts like they guarantee something. And I'm telling you, I'm not defending Jerry. I'm just telling you it's pretty obvious what he's saying. Jerry is saying guaranteed money don't guarantee what we're going to do on the field. It don't guarantee what we're going to do on the field. And paying Micah Parsons don't guarantee us a championship, doesn't guarantee us he's even going to be on the field for the whole season. Why is he saying this? Because we paid Dak Prescott last year and he didn't even finish out the season. Unsolicited, yes, I know. But if they wouldn't keep talking about the contract, and I think this is where Jerry is, because they keep talking about the contract, like the contract is what guarantees everything. Jerry is simply saying the contract don't guarantee everything. This is why, again, contract talk, move on.
The player does when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
On the tango part of it, though, Mike said in the podcast that ownership has overcomplicated this thing. In your mind, do you guys think this has been over?
Again, but y'all got a press conference and y'all keep talking about contracts and people didn't get this. Jerry is saying, I'm telling you, you may think that what I'm telling you don't, it makes perfect sense. Bro, you keep talking about a contract like the contract is guaranteeing we're going to win. Jerry just slipped it in. It's not the money that guarantees anything, it's the player. So why do we keep talking about the contract? Why is nobody seeing this? Why is no one seeing this? Because I'm seeing it clear as day. The media provoked Jerry into continuing to give this dumb commentary. And then people took from this, Jerry threw Michael Parsons and Dak Prescott under the bus. Because he said that signing them to a contract don't guarantee they're going to be on the field? That's dumb. That's dumb. Period. It's dumb. You might not like what he said and when he said it, but in actuality, it's true. And the issue is People don't understand context. I understand context. And the context is based on, do we not realize they have been literally asking about Michael Parsons' contract now for almost 8 minutes into this doggone press conference. They're riding Michael Parsons' contract. And so Jerry, in context, hey man, y'all keep talking about this contract stuff. But contracts don't guarantee us nothing. Jerry's already spoke on everybody's under contract. He's right. In actuality, Michael Parsons has an obligation to be there. You don't get to sign a 5th-year option and say, and I'm signing it so I don't show up. What? This is one of the problems the NFL actually has. Nah, bruh. You need to understand what I'm telling you. When you sign this 5th-year option, you're saying you're not holding out. You saying you're playing on a 5th-year option. And if you're not going to play on it, and if you want to keep negotiating your deal, then let's make that clear right now so we know where we're going. We have a very dumb expectation based off of what people have always done. And just because everybody's always done it don't mean it's right. But Jerry is just saying something very simple. The contracts don't guarantee nothing. So can we stop talking about the contracts? Jerry is very confidently, in a sense, saying Michael Parsons is going to get done. Yeah, we wait on contracts. Nobody likes it. Okay, it is what it is. Can we talk football now? They kept on with these dumb contract questions.
Of all of the people that I've sat down with as a player, of all the players that I've ever negotiated with, Michael Parsons is as savvy and knowledgeable and understanding of his financial business relative to football as any player I've ever been around.
John.
Now, he's smart.
John Machado with The Athletic. Jerry, have you had a chance to actually talk to his agent yet?
I've talked.
Oh, okay. Let me just read a couple of these comments y'all made to just right. Ratio, I understand what you're saying. The fact we're playing grab butt with the contract of our best players is just laughable at this point. But, Ratio, I think Jerry may be saying something else. But that's not what we're doing. Michael gonna be here. I think that's what he's saying. Bro, Michael gonna be here. The contract gonna get done. Steven even said, you might be surprised. And I think Steven said something very cryptic. I think Steven is saying, you might be surprised who the holdup actually is. I think Steven said that. You would be surprised at where they were versus where we are. Hold on, what do you mean where they were? You think we're the holdup. They can't sit here and just tell us every bit and piece about a deal. They can't sit here and give us all the details of, let me tell y'all exactly why the deal not getting done. Why would they betray the trust like that? No, Steven said cryptically. Yeah, you'd be surprised at where they were versus where we are. You'd be surprised because Steven is saying. You'd be surprised we're probably not the holdup. And again, I don't think they're necessarily playing with this. For all intents and purposes, I'm telling us again, this is an agent issue. And you can tell it's an agent issue. I don't think this is as much a Michael Parsons issue. I think that after that interview in November, David Mulugeta got in Michael Parsons' ear. And after Myles Garrett signed that deal, David Mulugeta got some more in his ear. And now Michael Parsons did an entire 180. Now it's almost like he's making it his business. he wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback. But I don't think Jerry's tripping on that. I think Jerry wanted to make him the highest paid anyway. Because I said even when Michael said that, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry still made him the highest paid player. I'm telling you, it's the years. No footballs. This is dumb. These guys have spent now, 9 minutes? No football questions. No football. The basement boys. He said, I almost turned it off because there was no football substance being talked about. Facts. Straight up facts. Poobie D, all the other crap out the window. Straight up, it's just dumb. And even Jerry said it. Jerry's like, man, hey, contracts don't guarantee anything on the field. A lot of people took that comment and just, like they do with a lot of stuff, Jerry says, run with it and say, great, I'm paraphrasing, yeah. Great motivation to talk about your two best players. What? What are you talking about? It's dumb. People need to teach people how to read in context, man, and not take stuff out of context. It's stupid. Daniel M. said, I'm just saying, the stage is set for Michael to be the highest paid non-quarterback. Exactly, Daniel M. And the Joneses are one setting the stage. They were already going to make him be the highest paid. They were already going to do it. The only issue, I believe, are the years. I think this is the only thing they're arguing about. And for me, I'm going to let them argue that. I wish they would have talked more football. Man, you got the opening presser. Hey, man, camp battles. Hey, what do you think about this player? What do you think about this and this going against this? Man, they didn't get there to the end. Stupid. Ratio said, I'm sorry, something Jerry derails my inner peace. You know what, though, Ratio? I think he does that to a lot of people. Don't do it to me. Daniel M., I mentioned this earlier. They got Osa done quick. They got Osa done quick. Straight up. So we can't say they always wait, because I would consider that Osa is one of our best players. But again, I'm just telling us what this dude is saying. And they're the ones who keep talking about this contract stuff.
With people that have talked to him, let's put it like that. You know, I don't necessarily talk to these agents, so I don't.
See? The argument is between Jerry and Mulugeta. And Jerry won't even mention this dude by name. That tells me that there was a deal of some sort in place, and David Mulugeta crashed the party and said, we ain't doing this. That's what that's telling me. Even Stephen Jones said earlier during the offseason, Michael likes to talk. Michael comes in the office talk. He said where Dak wouldn't talk anything about his contract without his agent, Michael talks about his contract without his agent. Straight up. And how do we know this? Because he did it flat out on ESPN. When you're saying that there's no difference between 30 and 40 million, if I'm your agent, I faint right there. I faint right there. And then when I come to, I'm ringing your phone off the hook. I'm texting, I'm ringing, I'm leaving voicemails. I'm like, bro, don't ever say that again on television. Don't say that ever again in the presence of anybody. If you think it, tell it to me. I'm telling us. I think there was a deal in place. And David Mulugeta stepped in and said, heck no. And I think this is where Jerry is tripping so hard on David Mulugeta. Won't even say this dude's name. He want to say this dude's name, man. But again, they better get used to it. Better get used to it. Athletes first. All these players, the Cowboys have contracts coming up. They're all represented.
Necessarily talk to attorneys, and I do stuff everywhere, and I don't necessarily talk to the people that are hired to do certain things. I talk to the principals 90% of the time.
Players.
For Brian, when you're getting ready to come out here, your first training camp as head coach, what's like at the top of your list of what you want to get accomplished from the next 3.5 weeks?
You know, we were talking about that last night with the staff a little bit. Just, you know, we want to have a very physical training camp. You know, there's limitations to what you can do, but, you know, we want to come out of this thing knowing the emphasis of winning the line of scrimmage. Like, that's really important to us, both offensively and defensively. You know how we want to play, be a physical style team, both offensively and defensively. And so I would say that maximize our padded practices. Obviously got the work coming up against the Rams here in a couple weeks, and that's the big emphasis right now.
Look at the look on this man's face. That's the look of frustration. I could be totally wrong, but this man looks frustrated. If I'm sitting here listening to them discuss one of my players' contract for 10 straight minutes, I'm frustrated too. I'm frustrated too. Because everybody knows that Jerry Jones is just not going to tell somebody, which I think this would have been one of the greatest statements he could have made outside of the first one. Hey, guys, I'm going to let you know right now, there will be no Michael Parsons contract discussions today. There'll be no answers. Anybody who asks a Michael Parsons contract question, you'll get no more questions answered today. That's where I would have been. They have railed on this contract thing for 10 minutes. And Brian Schottenheimer, rather than them asking him football questions, they're all up in somebody's pockets. Man, leave this man pockets alone. The man gonna get paid. This is the stuff that I want to talk about. Brian Schottenheimer in his frustration. Thankfully, we get to some football stuff. Brian Schottenheimer is basically saying something that we all need to be understanding. If the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl, they have to win the line of scrimmage. They have to win the line of scrimmage. There is hardly no other way to win a Super Bowl. Now, the Cowboys can do it because the Kansas City Chiefs have actually done it. Because Patrick Mahomes is the only one who has done it in the last few years to win a Super Bowl without a top 5 defense, if I'm not mistaken. They were talking about this on 105.3 The Fan. He's the only one that's done it. And he's done it twice. Everybody else, like Jalen Hurts and these people, they need super teams. Jalen Hurts, everybody's mad at Cam Newton right now because Cam Newton said that Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback. And he's basically said, I know people don't like it. He says it's hard to evaluate Jalen Hurts when you look around him and he has superstar players everywhere. When you got the best running game, a top 5 wide receiver duo, a top 5, top 10 offensive line, number 1 defensive line in football, top 5 linebacking core, top 10 secondary. Man, when you are winning the line of scrimmage, when you're winning inside out, you hard to beat. And I think Cam Newton is exactly right. AOC, shout out to AOC. He went against Dez Bryant because Dez Bryant, while I could understand him giving Jalen Hurts credit, but then he says that he don't think that other quarterbacks could have won with that Philadelphia Eagle team. Man, I'm not buying that. Much respect to Dez Bryant, I'm not buying that. Bro, when you got a super team, we saw Trent Dilfer win a Super Bowl. You cannot tell me that any other quarterback couldn't have won a Super Bowl, especially when you start talking about some of these top 10, top 15 quarterbacks. We've already made the argument. I believe Tony Romo and Dak Prescott both win Super Bowls with the 92 through 95 Cowboys. Jim Kelly wins a Super Bowl with those teams. I mean, there are numerous quarterbacks that would have won with those teams. No knock on Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman was a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. But we have to admit also, but hey, Troy Aikman benefited from a doggone super team and an outstanding coaching staff. Straight up and down, no special effects. It is what it is. And so when you start talking about winning Super Bowls, go back and check those defenses Troy Aikman played with. Man, them offensive and defensive lines, they matter. We don't even have to talk about his offensive line. His defensive line was second to none. And this is why I'm glad that Shotty is saying he wants to maximize the practices. You know what he's saying? I want to see what we got in them trenches, man. I want to see what we got up front. Cowboys already know what they got on the outside. They know what they got in CD. They know what they got in Pickens. They know what they got in Tolbert, Ferguson. They know what they have in Kevontae Turpin. They know what they have, even in Jaden Blue, I believe, as far as what they're projecting, as far as what he's going to play in the passing game. The big question really for these Cowboys, we haven't really seen the defense materialize yet. I mean, even offensive line-wise, as I call it, the triangle. Man, we know Cooper Beebe, Tyler Smith, Tyler Booker, them three, we know. Tyler Booker is a rookie. I ain't got no questions. None. I ain't got one question on Tyler Booker. Now, if I was there, I'd be asking the question like, hey, man, what you think about Tyler Booker? Because I think he going to be, man, I ain't got no questions about this dude. I love what Shotty said. We're going to maximize our padded practices because he's saying something. When that plastic get the clapping, we going to see what we got up front because that is really going to determine how far does this team get this year? How far does this team get in 2025? Defense wins championships. Offense score points. We already know what we got from a point scoring perspective. We already know what we have. We're pretty much probably going to be able to put up at will. We will probably be able to put up at will 30 plus points on any mediocre team. 27, 26 points. We'll be able to put that up even on the good teams. We're going to give good teams fits. We're going to give the great teams fits. Offensively, the question is, can we give them fits defensively? And so he's basically saying, man, we're going to see what this we're going to see what this offensive and defensive line look like now, because OTAs, shorts and t-shirts, we get to see what all of our skill positions look like. It is now time to see what happens when we get them pads crack-a-lagging. I'm with him. Let's go.
Tommy.
Tommy Yarst, DallasCowboys.com. Jerry kind of brought it up a little bit earlier with Trayvon Diggs. What went into that decision, and then what do you want to see from him as a leader, like you mentioned, and where do you feel like he is in the recovery process?
Oh, we expect a player paid like Trayvon to be here all the time. We expect him to be leading. We expect him to be leading. But that's not new. That goes all the way back. Deion was not necessarily given to come to the weight room. And I explained to him that it meant a lot for him to be in there. I said, does the fact that I have more weight trainers and more equipment and I work hard every day have anything to do with it? And I said, it needs to have some show with it, and so that all the team and everybody can do it. He said, you're on, done. I get it.
Now, this is another sticking point right here. Let me help us understand this. Jerry is saying something so simple. Jerry isn't making this about the rehab. Jerry is saying whether people like it or not. I'm telling you what this man is saying. We are building something special here. We believe that we are on the precipice of making a 30-year breakthrough. Because if the Cowboys make the NFC Championship game, it's still a breakthrough. Everybody who we are paying the big money to, we expect you to be a leader. And even if you can't be a vocal leader, because everybody don't lead the same. Also Diggy Zoo, I already said, he don't lead by talking. He leads by his presence and his play. Jerry is simply saying, man, some people making this about the training staff. I don't think it's as much about the training staff as it is about Jerry saying, we want your presence here. We want you here. Yeah, we want you here rehabbing. That's a part of it. But we want you here leading. We want you here where the guys can see you leading, your presence, them being able to ask you questions or lean on you for this. Your presence. Let me tell you something. Presence is huge. Whether we like it or not. Presence is huge. This is a football issue. Trayvon Diggs rehabbing in the building. Jerry is saying this is a team issue, a leadership issue. It goes back to how he compared him to Michael Parsons. Hey, Michael doesn't have the extension that he wants, but looky, he's here. Trayvon Diggs. All of the leaders are in the building. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Parsons, also Diggy Zua. You name them. Whoever we want to say are leaders on this squad. You're the leader that's not here. I know we don't like it. I know people don't like it. I'm not surprised. The Joneses have already been using this kind of language as it applies to applies to Trayvon Diggs. And I think they're saying something even bigger about Trayvon Diggs. Bro, we don't see the leadership. You haven't displayed the leadership ever since you got this contract. Where's the leadership been? You got paid before these other guys. Where is the leadership? Okay, you didn't rehab the first time in the building. You came back, you got hurt again. We changed out the head of the staff. We've made some improvements. You could be working out here. And it's not just the fact that you'll be working out here and rehabbing here. No, we want all these guys in camp. We wanted everybody in camp. This is something that Mike McCarthy talked about. Do y'all remember? Mike McCarthy said that by time OTAs begin, what should you have? Everybody in camp. All the free agents, all the draft picks, all the trades, everybody in camp. Building that chemistry. Why? Mike McCarthy, I told y'all before, didn't like him as a coach, but I would definitely have him on my football advisory board because there are some things that this man said you can use. Mike McCarthy said, if you can get your team all together, get them on the same page, let them come out of OTAs, training camp, preseason, hit the ground running. What'd he say? While everybody else is trying to get it together, you can sneak and win 4 games. And if you win them first 4 games, you set your whole season up. Mike McCarthy said that. Jerry is more upset. I'm telling you, people are taking this stuff out of context with this man. He's more upset that he don't have everybody in the building. Last year it was his fault. This year he's saying, no, it's not my fault. Because we've taken every measure to make sure everybody's in the building, including changing out the head of the training staff. I'm telling us that people are making this. And this is why I'm tripping on how people have made this. I mean, people just hearing what they want to hear. You got to be careful when you don't like a person. You have to be real careful. When you don't like a person, even when they turn a new leaf, or even when they telling the truth, you'll figure out a way to say they're not telling the truth. You'll figure out a way to say, no, they ain't saying this or they ain't saying that. I can hear clearly what Jerry Jones is saying. It's so clear to me. I'm like, I couldn't understand when people were tripping on this and this. I'm like, why are people so mad? And again, I'm just telling you, old school. Hold on a second. My man Bama Boy in the crib, what up? Finally get to chime in. My schedule has changed dramatically. Yes, sir. Good to see you in. I'm telling us, Jerry is talking, at least he's trying to, the best Jerry can. Jerry's trying to talk football. But they're asking Jerry all these old crazy questions. Now, the Trayvon Diggs question, this one is solicited. So, hey, they asked him about Trayvon Diggs. He said it. And I think where Jerry and Steven are, hey, man, I said it in the video. Go check it out. Trayvon Diggs to Jerry and Steven is expendable. The Cowboys went in the draft to replace Trayvon Diggs. Period. End of story. I don't care who feelings that hurts. They went in the draft to take this, to replace this man. Straight up. Straight up, they went in to replace him. Savon Revel Jr. don't play slot corner. Somebody was going to be in jeopardy of getting out of here regardless. Either him or Deron Bland. And with 2 years of injuries for Trayvon Diggs, the chondral bone graft surgery, nobody knows what he's going to be. Didn't come to the facility in rehab. I'm telling you, Trayvon Diggs, done. And Jerry is as much as saying it, and I think they were already done. I think they were already done. And that is what it is. So I don't know what else to tell us on Trayvon Diggs. They already decided they were done on him. Done. Period. End of story. And again, I'm laughing at people. I'm laughing at people. People who didn't have a problem with a podcaster by the name of Glenn Smith. I think that's what his name is. They didn't have a problem with Glenn Smith saying that he got from some coaches on the current Cowboys coaching staff that Jaden Blue was lazy. And then saying, yeah, man, I'm glad they said that about Jaden Blue. What? So you telling me in a brand new culture, you telling me that this is how we want our coaches to coach? That rather than them going to Jaden Blue and saying, hey, man, we don't like the way you did, or hey, get on the phone. Hey, man, could you come? We would love for you to show up at the weight room, man. It mean a lot for the team chemistry, blah, blah, blah. You telling me we don't want coaches that can just pick up the phone. We want some ballerina coaches get in their feelings and then start talking about, hey, the first chance we get, the moment somebody come in our face and start asking questions, we gonna tell them, hey, and Jaden Blue, by the way, Jaden Blue is borderline lazy. So we get mad about that. I'm sorry. No, we don't get mad about that. No, that's how we want to do business. I was furious about that. Man, I'm more worried about what the coaches say than Jerry Jones. Jerry being Jerry. But when you tell me you trying to build the best culture in football, and you got coaches leaking to an ex-20-year-plus ex-football coach who was low on the totem pole, and now he doing a podcast, he talking about Jaden Blue lazy, and people applauding that. But then he's saying stuff about Trayvon Diggs. I'm sorry. Are we surprised? What is he saying in actuality none of us knew? What is he saying? Because I don't think what he's saying about Trayvon Diggs, I don't think it's new to anybody. And that's why I trip on people. Oh, man, Cowboy fans fall in love with players. Then they fall in love with a player. And then somebody say something about that player. Oh, you hating. You dumb. You stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. Gotcha. It is what it is with Trayvon Diggs. And I'm telling you, my mama and them used to say, where you show out is where you get woe out. And if you gonna not come and train at the Dallas Cowboys facility and you know it's in your contract, they made some changes and you still not gonna come? Well, if you not gonna come and you gonna show that kind of disregard, disrespect, if you gonna show that, then don't get mad when we start saying stuff like, you're not a leader. It is what it is. You can't have it both ways. You want a clown and then you get mad when the clown you want a clown show and then you get mad when the clowns show up. Now, I don't subscribe to this, but I'm telling you, when some folks you start clowning, they clown with you. They clown with you. And one thing we know about Jerry Jones, you gonna clown with Jerry Jones gonna clown with you. It is what it is. But what he's saying about Trayvon Diggs, I don't know what to tell us. I don't know what to tell us. With me, with Trayvon Diggs, it is what it is. We all saw Trayvon Diggs struggling last year, even before the injury. Period in the story. And we're not being truthful if we're not saying he was struggling before the injury. He was struggling before the injury, period. Unless he was still kind of hurt, which was based on his own rehab. Amen, Walls. That was based on the rehab he did away from the facility too. If I'm not mistaken, he did that rehab away from the facility too.
But
it's important. It's important to have the right body language in every respect when you are one of those rare, financially paid and gifted players.
Jerry's saying, bro, when you get paid here, people think this is about the rehab facility. No, this is bigger than the rehab facility. Bro, when you get paid here, we expect you to be here. We expect you to be here. We don't care if you're not a leader vocally. We don't care if you don't even have no leadership qualities. But the one aspect of leadership we want you to show is be here. Jerry ain't the first one to do this. Let's stop acting like Jerry is the first one to do this. Parcells used to call Glenn, what was his name? Terry Glenn. Man, Bill Parcells used to call Terry Glenn she. What? Bill Parcells called Terry Glenn she, and nobody said a word about it. Nothing. Everybody felt like it was justified. I never liked it back then. That's kind of stuff to me, man. Man, you calling a man a female? This man would call Terry Glenn a she in press conferences. And people wouldn't do nothing but laugh. It's amazing to me how people always want everything both ways. Everybody want everything both ways. No. This dude, you can love it, like it, or hate it. This dude is saying what he feels. He's saying what he means about Trayvon Diggs. And he's saying something. No. Trayvon Diggs, no leadership. Trayvon Diggs, prepare yourself. You out of here.
You've got to have some leadership about you.
Yeah,
but
you
the
out.
De-escalation is contractual. Spelled out. So he understood when he decided he was going to train in South Florida, he understood what the consequences would be.
Straight up. You don't think Trayvon Diggs knew this? Let me tell you something, I guarantee you. Because if I'm Trayvon Diggs' agent, you know what I would have did? Bring Trayvon. Hey, just want to make sure you're aware. Yeah, what's up? There's a clause in your contract. It's a de-escalation clause. You do know that if you don't at least train 84% of the time at the facility, I mean, you do know this. You do know that by training down there, wherever you're training, you do know you're giving up $500,000, don't you? Man, if your agent didn't tell you that, fire him. Fire your agent. I'm sure Trayvon Diggs knew. Trayvon Diggs pushed the envelope. Okay. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. Cowboys already tripped on your rehab last year. You came back, you went down again. And so you think that this time the Cowboys are going to say, okay, well, go ahead and train where you want to again. And if he didn't train somewhere else, they were on him about the way he rehabbed. Either way, the Cowboys said, nah, man, not again. We're not putting up with this. We're not putting up with this. I'm sorry. I just really hadn't seen any problem. I hadn't seen any problem with what Jerry doing. I think if you hate Jerry, then you hate what Jerry. If you hate Jerry, you hate what Jerry said. But really, at this point, if you're really listening to the context of this, Jerry said nothing that's crazy in the grand scheme of things. Unlucky, what up? Unlucky said Jerry got so crying like some little itches. Man, let me tell you something. Boy, you talking about people just went on the attack on this man. Not even just really in context. Saying, like, what is this man saying in context? The first time he said something about Trayvon Diggs unsolicited. Second time he said something about Trayvon Diggs is solicited. Jerry just unleashed. It is what it is. And Steven is saying, you're a grown man. It's in his contract. He knew.
Jerry, I was just curious, because you know how these headlines can blow up. You said you don't always talk to the principals. In other words, David Mugoletta, Micah Parsons' agent. Why have you not spoken to him more directly the way you have Todd France or David Cantor in the past?
Jerry didn't speak to Todd France. Okay. And Jerry, as he said, doesn't speak to many agents.
Here we go. Here we go again. It's before training camp. Christmas, training camp eve. What does the Dallas media continue to do? They are looking for the headlines. Some people get mad. I don't even understand these people be tripping. Oh, content creators. Oh, this and that. And they go, man, this is what we do. It's what some of us do. We listen to things just like everybody is doing it. Actually, people are trying to get mad at somebody for what everybody's doing. We listen to things, analyze them, break them down, or at least we try to break them down in the Google Gaga, and we try to do it objectively rather than subjectively. And so at the end of the day, these people are the ones who continue to ask these questions to Jerry Jones about contracts. And I wish Jerry would have told him, I'm not answering any more contract questions. Stephen Jones steps in. Hey, stop blaming this on Jerry. I talk to agents. And I'm telling you, Stephen is saying something. I think the Cowboys and Michael had an agreement in principle. And then David Mulugheta steps in. And that's why I think they're so ticked at this situation with Micah and his agent. But again, Jerry has already said, the agent ain't the one that plays on the field. Jerry is saying, I know we're going to get this deal done. So I want Micah in the building because he's about to be one of the top paid. What did he call them? Them 10%ers. Well, Micah's about to be one of them. So you want him in the building. And all that other stuff is going to work itself out. And I wish Jerry would have told him, I'm not talking about no contracts today. All we want to talk about is training camp. But Jerry tells us towards the end, all of it's football. And it is, but it's not the part we want to hear. But obviously the Dallas media, they want it to go and write about contracts.
I do.
So what is your relationship with Mugoleta been so far?
We've always had a good relationship with Mulligeta.
What would you say?
And specifically, Adam speaks to the agents as well. So, but Jerry's typically, whether it's a coach or a player, speaks directly to the principal.
And
remember what I told
the
you?
attorneys and all of the other stuff that goes on too. Now, it really wouldn't be time for everything if you did that. So I do talk to the principal some.
We've talked about the fact that sometimes we drag these out. I know last year you guys have disputed whether there was any
Rehashing the same question. Same question, just a different way. Same question. Clarence Hill has already asked the same question. Only thing I blame Jerry for is not telling these people I'm not answering another contract question. Stay out of this man's pockets. This is between us, Michael, and his agent, not y'all. If you're not here for football questions, get out of here. Get out of here. Straight up. That's the only place I fault him. But I'm still bewildered at how much people criticize Jerry, but don't criticize the questions. They're dumb. Just the same questions over and over. Shoot, Unlucky said, if you don't know Jerry by now, he said that's a box of rocks. Bro, for real. Come on, man. And the reality is, man, Jerry, as much as people don't like what he's saying, just haven't found much issue with what he's saying based on the questions. We talking about what he's answering, but my issue is the questions. That's stupid. Hallelujah said that's a good way to put it, though, G. I wish they had you as a real-time interpreter. Man, hallelujah. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is so... everything I heard, I'm like, but, oh, you listening to the question? We mad at an answer, but we're not mad at the questions. They keep asking the question like, okay, there must be something they're trying to get. Obviously, by asking the same questions, hearing each other ask the same type of questions, they're obviously not getting what they're wanting. So I think this is maybe who, James Slater? I mean, it's like you're not asking anything that Clarence didn't ask.
Rust with CeeDee Lamb when he wasn't here at camp. For those of us who aren't in the rooms or aren't talking to the agent like you are, Steven, what's holding it up? Is it AP?
Wait. Hold on. Stop the press. Is anybody listening to the question? She said, for those of us who are not in the room, those of us not in the know, not in the room, do you realize what she just asked him? Can you tell us what's actually going on in the room? Can you tell us exactly what the holdup is? Why would he do this? Why? Why would he tell her this? Oh, wait. So you can go back and print it or write it and get all the clicks, the likes, the dislikes, whatever. This is crazy work. I'm just blown away that we ain't calling this crazy work. Are we asking this question because you know you're not going to get the answer? Because to even give someone the details of the inner workings of a contract, it's crazy work. Crazy work.
Why? Is it injury language? What are the little nuances that are preventing a contract getting done? Since you talked to Micah, which is something you guys have done pretty early on with the player, more so than you have in the past.
Well, first of all, we've always felt like it wouldn't, it's not productive to talk about any details about what's holding what up.
Boom! Boom! Should have been done said this. Stupid. So you think that we're supposed to be telling you the inner workings of the contract between us, Mulugeta, and Michael Parsons? Are you stupid? Such a waste of a press conference. And I'm laughing. We talking about Jerry. First thing I mentioned, I said, so I asked the question on X. Whose fault is this actually? Whose fault is this? Is this Jerry we talking about being at fault? Or is anybody going to talk about these dumb media questions? Miss Matrix in the crib, good to see you. It's crazy to me. Bama Boy said beat the Parsons agent with soap balls and a towel. Miss Matrix, I agree with you. Hit that like button. Mr. J in the crib, what's going on? It's crazy to me. These people got the opportunity, training camp eve, and all they're asking is about contracts. And Jerry has given them an answer that I think is so powerful. Michael's in camp. Why are y'all worried? Michael's in camp. The contract don't guarantee he's going to be on the field. The contract don't guarantee anything other than he going to get his money. It is stupid. And they continue, so they're going to be able to run out to the media and they're going to be saying that Jerry is doing Michael Parsons wrong and Jerry is this and that and this and that, and continue to try to turn people. It's amazing to me for people who are for a franchise. They do say and write things that turn people away and turn people against the franchise. Stupid. Star Guardian X, I just mentioned it. Shotty sitting there like he was trying so hard not to pop off on the media. He looked pissed for real. I'm telling you, Star Guardian, this dude is frustrated, Star Guardian. Straight up. This dude looks straight like, man, how we gonna be 1 week away from preseason football, 2 weeks away from the Rams? We about to go and put some pads on here soon. And the only thing y'all want to talk about is another man's money? Man, worry about your... Boy, they couldn't have had me up in there. Worry about your own money. We got this. If you want to work out other people's... You want to be an agent, you want to work out contracts, then you in the wrong business. Rico Jones, he said, G, kicking them facts. Hey, I'm just trying to tell the truth. I have to process information. I can't just get mad at the first thing somebody say. I got to look at why they saying it. I got to look at why they saying it. And it's these dang gone questions these people are asking. It's crazy.
I mean, obviously, we don't have a deal with Mike, and we have work to do. That's the only thing I would comment on.
Bam. That should have been the end right there. Bam. Best answer Stephen Jones gave. Tired of talking about Michael Parsons' contract. Shut up. Can't none of y'all sign a check. Can't none of y'all sign Michael Parsons' check. Shut up.
The other thing I would say is contracts are 4 or 5 years. Okay? There's a lot of water under the bridge if you step out there and do something in the first 2 or 3. You can get hit by a car. Seriously. And so there's a lot to look at over a lot of years that could make a big difference. Have you ever heard of any clubs committing to players and then they didn't pan out after they committed to them? We have. And so my point is there's of all the reasons in the world to, when you're under contract, and if you're not under contract, one of the things that exacerbates this is that you have a kind of policy or a practice to have contracts, but have like it's some kind of obligation to do something before the contract is over.
Yep, I mentioned that.
Okay? In other words, not have the benefit of the contract.
Yep, I mentioned
that goes
that.
completely against the benefit of the club.
Did I not mention that? A 4-year deal is a 3-year deal. A 5-year deal is a 4-year deal. Player outplays the deal. He ain't playing that 4th year on that 4-year deal. Michael Parsons signed a 5th-year extension. I mean, a 5-year. He signed his 5th-year option to not play. This is exactly what Jerry's talking about. And Jerry is also saying in working these deals, you have to be careful when you work these deals because you could sign one of these big deals and that player not even play 2 years of that deal. Anything could happen. Jerry is actually trying to tell these people something without telling them, and I wish he would have just tell them straight up. Stop talking about contracts when you don't know everything and understand everything that goes into them. Stop talking about contracts. But this seems to be, other than 2 really good football questions, in my opinion, this seems to be what all they want to talk about.
Which ultimately should be to put a winning team on the field.
Bam. That's the goal. And guess what? For as mad as anybody is at Jerry Jones, is this not one of the best teams we've seen in years? Now, I don't think that they have accomplished what Steven said, the best roster in football, nor have I heard Steven proclaim we have put together the best roster in football. I already told you, I don't think you do that in a season. I think that's going to take them 2 more. I think it's going to take them 2 seasons. This one, and then I think next year is when they're really going to set this roster on fire. But the goal is to put together a very good team on the field. And Jerry, just like he opened it, back to that point again. For everybody hating on Jerry Jones, Jerry's put together a very good team.
And the more that you can husband, the more that you can spread it out and put it around and have other good players rather than all going to a few players, the better team you got. So there's a lot of reasons. Timing is a lot of reasons. And in fact,
Johnny Blue, what up?
Why would you go out and basically spend money just to spend money and not have had to spend it, but you can spend it 3 years later? Money costs money. So there's a lot of reasons why. This old business of thinking, well, my goodness, it's pretty obvious to me everything goes up. So why don't you catch it when it's low? Have you ever thought that when it's low, they're counting on it going up? And those are the numbers that are coming out? Not the ones that are going on right there. Have you ever thought about that? That's it, 90% of the time. They are not dealing with you in those numbers today. They're dealing with projected numbers, which also usually have more fluff than reality.
Are we hearing what Jerry is saying? Jerry is dropping some megaton bombs in Jerry Jones' way. Jerry Jones just told us. Catch what he's saying. You don't think we maybe tried to get a deal done early? That's exactly what he just said. Have you ever thought we tried to get a deal done early? But Jerry is saying, but when you come in even early, trying to deal with today's numbers, the players are dealing with tomorrow's numbers because their agents are doing it. While Jerry and these guys all know these projections, the agents know projections too. And as they are talking about numbers today, they're talking about numbers tomorrow. This is exactly what Jerry's saying. And Jerry is saying in a very Jerry way, you don't know what you're talking about. The one thing I know that everybody thinks they know better than Jerry. Do I think it would be better to pay players early? Yes. But Jerry seems to be saying that y'all think it's that easy. But when we're talking to these agents, they're not talking low. And I'm going to tell you something else that I think is strange too. Or I thought about too. I wonder what it is like to come up with a contract for every other player on any other team versus playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I wonder what the agent's approach is to Dallas versus all the other players, other teams. Because we have to understand something when you're playing for Dallas. There is so much more money to be made. There is so much more money to be made playing for the Cowboys. I mean, it is just a straight up fact. There is going to be money on the field. And if you want to dim players, you're going to get a lot of money off the field. I just wonder what it's like to really negotiate as it applies to dealing with the Cowboys. And I think Jerry is letting us in on, y'all don't understand. I think he's saying what Steven said again earlier. Y'all think this is all on us. But it's not.
They've usually got not imagination, but an expectation that those numbers are going to be higher than they are.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a debate. Okay, what if we're sitting here putting the club together and we're trying to get them and we don't believe they're going that high?
Mm-hmm.
Only God really knows, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that comes to play.
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
Joseph Boyd.
Now, I wish he would have left it where Steven left it. No more contract stuff. No more. We're not doing no more of that stuff. But I'm rolling that people are mad at the answers, but they're not mad at the questions. If they were up there talking unsolicited, I'd be like, okay, I see what they're doing. They're asking all these questions. And I wish they would just tell them what Steven told them. We're not talking no details on contracts. And as a matter of fact, I wish they'd have told them we're not talking contracts. Bama Boy said if Parsons wants to be a high-space player, get it done on the field. He said the dang run besides rushing the passer, be a difference maker. Yes, sir. And I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Michael too. I do. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. The thing is, though, it don't matter how much pressure on him because once you get that guaranteed money, it's guaranteed money. Alfredo says the boys have Michael locked up. He's playing on a 5th-year option, and the boys can tag him twice, so he ain't going nowhere. Alfredo, boy, let me tell you, brother, I know the Cowboys are not doing it. Alfredo, I know they're not doing it. But we've already talked about this before. Brian Broaddus mentioned this, and I know this would tick off a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans. The Cowboys could actually come out cheaper. Making him play on a 5th year, paying him 2 tags. They could come out cheaper. Could full well come out cheaper. And no guarantees on that. I'm just telling you, Alfredo, they ain't gonna do it. But they could if they wanted to. They absolutely could if they wanted to. Let's see if we can get to
Dallas Morning News. Jerry kind of just talked about, the things that can happen before a contract's up, and that's why you kind of wait for it a little bit.
All right. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I can't deal without a contract talk. I'm sure a lot of y'all have listened to this. I can't deal with the contract talk. Next time we get to the contract talk, I'm going to skip a little more.
Patrick.
Good morning, gentlemen. Football question for Shotty.
Thank you. Football question. But I'm going to tell you, Brian Schottenheimer at this point, by the look on his face, this man is probably so frustrated by what he's witnessed now of 17 minutes of nothing but contract talk. Man, this dude is, I guarantee this dude is like, man, I got to get out of here. Let's get this thing over with.
When you're talking about starting training camp with several of your cornerbacks going on injured lists, Trayvon Diggs, Revel, Josh Butler, Kalen Carson is working his way back. Just talk about the challenge of trying to build continuity in the secondary when you have so many unsettled pieces at cornerback.
Well, I see it as a positive. I mean, I can see where there's issues, but it gives you a chance to look at some of the younger players. I think, you know, our objective to come out of these first 2 weeks, really, before we get into the joint practice against the Rams, is we want to see all these guys compete. We want to see who's developing, who took the things that we taught in the spring and who carried it over. The installation is going to be exactly the same. So OTA 1 is going to be training camp 1 tomorrow, and then day 2 and day 3. But so I think it's really not, you know, you could look at it as, oh, it's a negative for continuity. We'll get that figured out. But at the most part, we need to figure out and make the right evaluation of these guys to make sure that when it comes time to trim in the roster, that we're keeping the guys that we feel like fit our football team, not just based as a player, but as a person.
So Shotty is saying something that I think is so powerful. So here's what we already know. Trayvon Diggs, even though I think the Cowboys are done with him, and I think they're telling us, he's getting back on the field. Savon Revel Jr., he is the Trayvon Diggs replacement. Cowboys already know what they're gonna do in that situation. So Shotty's just saying something so simple. You get to see Kyer Elam. Because I think this is really who is going to get the golden opportunity this training camp. Kyer Elam has an opportunity of a lifetime. Kyer Elam gets the opportunity to audition for 31 other teams. Do we not understand how bad the Rams need a cornerback? The Rams need cornerbacks bad. If Kyer Elam goes out here and when they have their joint practice with the Rams, if he goes out here, balls out the next 2 weeks, then balls out when they go against the Rams, ball out in the preseason, let me tell you something. Kyer Elam is going to be on his way to a contract with somebody. Straight up. He is going to be on his way to a contract. So what Shotty is saying is exactly right. When you have injuries, it's an opportunity to see what the guy looks like behind him. It's an opportunity to see what the depth looks like. So the Cowboys, I don't think they're really tripping on what's going on at cornerback, because I think they feel like that when the injuries are, that when Savon Revel Jr. is healthy, the Cowboys think, hey, we're going to be fine. We actually got 3 outside cornerbacks. The only thing we're concerned about is who takes the place of Jordan Lewis. Can Wanye Thomas fill that void? Or can they slip Kyer Elam or Savon Revel Jr. when he comes back? Can they slip one of them into there? Because I'm telling you, I was talking about this yesterday. Man, Savon Revel Jr., Kyer Elam, and Deron Bland? Shoo. Man, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. If them boys playing, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. So I like what he's saying about that. Man, it's an opportunity to look at young guys.
Nick
Harris, 4-Star Telegram. When you guys were looking at last season, obviously not the campaign you guys wanted, what were the big problems that you took away in your reevaluation, and do you think you've solved those problems going into training camp now?
Well, I'll speak to the first couple things. Obviously, when you look at the turnover issues last year, that was a problem for us. We have to be better there. Injuries are part of the game. We know that. But again, I just think at the end of the day, the consistency for us last year was not very good. And that's why I feel like the importance of this training camp, I think there's no better training camp spot in the world than here in Oxnard, Ventura County. And the weather, the work we're able to get done, just, you know, in terms of just focus solely on football. That's why you come out here. That's what you love about it. And again, it's more about what we need to do moving forward. We came out of the spring saying, okay, these were some of the areas that we got better at. We felt like we got the system in place with Flus coming in, with Sorensen coming in, and now's a chance for the coaches to really perfect it. That's what you try to do. You look at really, you teach it in the starting point of phase 1, phase 2, you detail it in OTAs, and then your job is to perfect it as a coach and a player during training camp.
You guys need more out of Fonzie Smith and Tyler Guyton this next coming year. Well, what's your confidence in each of those guys right now?
Mozzie looks great. Saw him last night. He looks great. He's excited. He's ready to go. He looks awesome. Again, young player. And then Tyler Guyton, I saw the thing of him training in the rain, doing some boxing. But again, he's worked his ass off. And again, why is training camp different? because these guys actually get to hit each other. They get to lean on one another. And then when you play the game in the trenches, that's what matters. It's not what you do in OTAs. You know, I thought we had really good OTA practices, but there's limitations. The key of training camp is you're able to do things that as close to simulates what you're going to do on game day.
Yeah, Shotty talking good. Straight up. Shotty wants to see what they are inside out. That's all he's. Hey, man, I want to see what these guys do at the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage, I'm telling us, George Pickens is only telling us how many points we're probably going to be able to score. But the defense is going to tell us how far we're going to get. Let me say that again. George Pickens is just an indicator of how many points we're going to be able to score. The defense is the indicator of how far we're going. In 2023, what were we able to do? Put up points. What couldn't we do? Stop the run. Where did we go? One and done. Defense wins championships. Offense scores points. I believe Bear Bryant said that. You have got to build a defense. I'm with you. Poobie D said it best. I like what Poobie D said. He said they need to be asking about the defense as a whole. The defense, to me, is our biggest question mark. Our defense. I told y'all before, Matt Eberflus's defense is predicated on the his defense is predicated on the 3-tech. But we've been talking about we need a 1-tech. I'm very interested to see how much does Jay Toya move the needle in training camp. And I want to see, I forgot the guy's name we got from the USFL. I want to see what he looks like too. But he's a 3-tech. He's not a 1-tech. So he wants to see. And I told you, Daniel M., if you still on here, the Cowboys, before they start inquiring about 1-techs, I believe they want to see what they have first in the building. Let that plastic get the crack-a-lacking. Let them see, and he said it twice now, they want to see what they are inside out. What do we look like on the lines of scrimmage? Because those are what determine how far you go in the playoffs. Defenses travel well. Offensive lines travel well. Rain, hail, sleet, or snow. If you can move furniture on both sides of the ball, it don't matter what stadium you play in, it don't matter the temperature, it don't matter the weather. You're built to win. You're built to win. And so that's what we got to see. Let me read a couple of your comments. Cowboy Stanos, what up? He said, on point, G. I said the same. Too many fans are looking for things to complain about. Man, you know what it is, Cowboy Stanos? We've complained about the Cowboys for so long that that's what we think we're supposed to do. I'm telling us, man, our own media, and understand, content creators are a part of the media too. Boy, we be killing our team, man. Boy, we be killing our team. Man, we could be doing things better than other teams. Boy, we'll still find a reason. Boy, we'll be talking about we'll be talking about opioids and woo-wee medicines, and boy, we'll beat you down if you dare say the Cowboys gonna be good. Boy, man, our media, and I'm talking about content creators with our media, will destroy you if you think even an inkling the Cowboys gonna be good. Boy, don't you dare, don't you have the audacity to do that. Because I'm telling you, if we waiting on the perfect team before we start saying we can actually go for our team, we ain't gonna never go for them. Because even the Eagles didn't know they had a perfect team. And I still question whether they had a perfect team, because had the Detroit Lions not got hurt, had the Detroit Lions defense not got decimated, I think we're having a whole different conversation. I think we're having a whole nother conversation. And I think we back to the same conversation where everybody now want to put Jalen Hurts in the top 5 and top 10 we would be having the same conversation. Oh, Jalen Hurts, man, this is going to be his last year. Psh, boy, it's amazing. Star Guardian, the presser was crazy. I just got finished watching it. He said, man, Shotty was sitting there like a man. Why am I even here? It was great. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Star Guardian, I said it earlier. This dude is looking like doggone it. What are we talking about? Yeah, Poopy D, that principal, man, he talked to the player. That's all Jerry's saying. Jerry said, I'm talking to who count, the player. Hey, Unlucky, stop it, man. Unlucky said, Jerry ain't hurt your feelings. He said the E-girls did. Man, let me see, my man goes to Michael McCarthy. He said, no, I don't blame Shotty. He said, this is your first shot at head coach. He said, you want to go into in a TC distraction free, and you got to deal with this. Man, I'm with you, bro. I'm like, man, these dudes all this doggone crazy. Man, I don't want to hear this. Dang Lim, he said, the spokesperson just for me and has spoken silence. Hey, man, you see that beard? I wonder when he going to do the beard. Alfredo said, I think the deal was done when Michael's agent saw it. He told Michael, don't sign it. It's not enough money for my cut. Psh, say it, Alfredo. League going to have to do something about these doggone agents. I'm telling you, they're going to be in the NFLPA meetings before it's over. They're going to have to do something about these doggone agents, man. I'm telling you straight up. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get some more in here before I get out of here. Let's see.
Joe.
Shotty, Dak Prescott entered year 10. We know about what he's gone through in terms of injuries. What's your philosophy in terms of the work you need to see out of him and how much work you will give him?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, now that he's in the over 30 club, we're going to be smart with some of the things that we do with him. He is anti that. He wants to do as much as possible.
Dak Prescott will not play during the preseason, looks like.
Luckily, we have the trump card with him on that. But in all seriousness, Dak understands that, again, there's a smart way to train. We've got, two other quarterbacks we're really excited to evaluate. Joe Milton's a guy that we're really excited about. We want to see him play a bunch. And then, Will Greer's a guy that's been around. So although Dak's not going to like it as much, he's very aware that we're going to be intelligent with what he does.
All right, so it looks like we're going to have we'll see, but it looks like we may have another preseason like we had in 2020. That was 2023, wasn't it? Wait a minute, wasn't that? Okay, I'm trying to think. That was 2024 when we paraded Trey Lance all up and down through. It was Trey Lance. It looked like we're going to have another preseason of watching Trey Lance. And so this even tells me that even when they have the game against the Rams, then this also means that we may see a lot of Joe Milton during that too. And so we might not be seeing a lot of Dak. I think what he's saying is they're going to try to keep Dak Prescott out of harm's way. So we might not be seeing a lot of Dak Prescott. So that's going to lead to another thing that our Dallas media is going to do. And they're going to be hyping up Joe Milton like he's the best thing since sliced bread. And then you're going to have people calling for the job of Dak Prescott. So we'll see how that turns out. But I think what they're doing is that Dak is not going to have a lot of action. Let me see my man Poopy D. He said Dak will be finessed back into action. Yep. If you're talking about ease back into, I think that's what it means too. They're going to ease him back in. So we might not see him a lot. He says, no, Joe Milton going to perform this preseason. Yep. We're going to see a lot of Joe Milton again. Yep. Milton is better than Trey Lance. Exactly. So we're going to see some more of that again. And then we're going to have people all hyped up about Joe Milton. It is what it is. I'm already preparing myself.
In terms of your message to the team in the first meeting, what are some of the highlights of that? Do you have any kind of a camp motto for these guys this year?
No, I mean, the motto is going to always be compete every day. I mean, that's what we're all about. It's not going to change. I've been other places.
Thank you, Shotty. Thank you. No themes, no mottos, no T-shirts. Nah, man. Nah. You this dude is hitting right on the head. None of that junk. Just, hey, man, go out there and perform.
is where there's a theme of the year. I don't believe in that. I believe in that you should have a central theme of your program, and that's compete every day. And again, that's not just on the practice field. That's in the meeting rooms. It's time away, being smart,
Yes,
things
sir.
like that.
QW, CW
Again,
6253.
the guys that I've
Yes,
seen
sir.
have been around. They're excited, and they're excited to build off what we did in the spring. The spring was terrific for us, but it was just a spring. Now you're getting into July and August and the real dog days of summer, and that's where you're going to see the massive growth in this football team.
Tim.
I like what you said, Poopy D. I like what you said. Poopy D said, I want to see Greer also. Me too. I don't want them to just give Joe Milton the job. I want to see a challenge on it. I really do. I would love to see Greer in here challenging them forward. CB said, literally expected to G like clockwork. They'll hype Milton and call for him to take in Dak's place. Yeah, I exactly. I'm telling you, our media, and I'm not talking about the content creators, but I'm talking about our media. Boy, if there's anybody who's going to hype up Joe Milton, they're going to hype this dude out of the stratosphere. Matt D, I don't think he is. Just based on what Shotty just said, I don't think we're going to see him. I don't think we'll see Dak during the preseason. I don't think they want to risk what happened to Tony Romo.
Dallas Shaw, Dallas Morning News. Jerry, I wanted to say, first of all, and I'm late on this, you were great in Landman, and that to some extent made me look differently at you, the things you do. Seriously. Now, having said that, you brought up charts, and Washington did go to the NFC Championship game. So this is the first time you've come to camp as the team that's been the longest in the NFC without a championship game. And you see that chart in 29 years. Is that embarrassing? What do you think when you see that and think about that?
I've spent a lot of those 29 years looking up, not looking back. I really have. And this thing has had some great peaks since 1989. But like football, they're few and far between.
Boy, I can't wait
And
to read to y'all
yes,
if y'all hadn't seen
there
Poopy D
have been
comment.
some rough bumps along the way and some disappointments. Last year was one of them. I have always, though, known.
Man, let me tell y'all something. To bring up the fact the Dallas Cowboys has went the longest without a championship game. Man, the Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls in the 90s, and I know this has been 30 years ago. But I'm just telling you, man. When you let a person sit back in the grand scheme of things and look at stuff like, they ain't tripping on what Washington's doing. No, man, they trying to get back to the Super Bowl. Man, they ain't worried about all that old dumb comparison stuff. Man, let me tell y'all something. If y'all haven't heard this before, I didn't make it up, but somebody else said it. Man, comparisons is the robber of joy. Man, stop comparing. Don't compare yourself to, man, you your own litmus test. Man, I looking at the doggone Washington Commanders, man, nobody care about that. Wait a minute. Boy, I'm rolling on this. Man, this dude. Man, this dude, Poopy D, done tripped out up in here, y'all. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. This dude, Poopy D, said Dak will punt in the third game. This dude, Poopy D, done tripped out, boy. He said this dude gonna punt in the third. That's the only action he gonna get, Poopy D. Poopy D said Dak Prescott's actually gonna punt in the third game, boy. Man, you got me rolling up in here. Man, he said he gonna punt in the third game. But TME, I'm with you. I'd like to see Dak. I'd like to see Dak get one series. At least in the first game and the second game. I would like to see Dak get a series. I really do. TME greatness. I've already told people. If they allow Will Grier, he gonna compete. Will Grier gonna compete. He can play. Ice Cold Cowboy, what's up? Boy, with you. Poopy D said this man gonna punt. Dominique said, I don't like that one bit. All the star players need to play some during the preseason. Man, I agree, Dominique. I'm with you. I'm with you. I think they all need to play. They need to figure out if it's just one game, they all play a series. The entire starting lineup plays one game. One game, they all play at least a series. Johnny Blue said, I think Dak should play at least a quarter in the second preseason game. Man, I'm telling you, I do too. Somewhere in there, he's got to get some playing time. He hasn't played since week 9. We would know a little bit about how our players, play, and he needs to get some work in. It's been too long, in my opinion. Yeah, man, he ain't played since week 9. He got to get him in. Terrence C. Washington said, I'm in L.A. I'll probably get to see them scrimmage against the Rams in Oxford. Hey, give me some footage, Terrence. Give me some footage, man. I'd love to put it on. Ghost of Mike McCarthy said, if you like Land, man, look up Terry Funk's story about a young Billy Bob Thornton. You'll never think of him the same way again. Okay. Poopy D said, yeah, that will show you his hand. Boy, Poopy D going wild up in here, boy. He taking the Andrew the Rebel Chick spot tonight. Boy, Poopy D going crazy. He said that'll show you his hamstrings. Okay. Boy, you wild up here tonight, Poopy D. Boy, you wild. Yeah, I appreciate you, CW. Yeah, Perry on Winfrey. But he a 3-tech. Maybe they'll try to use him at that 1-tech. Ice Cold Cowboy, he says it's been 11,000 days since the 96 Super Bowl. Ice Cold. Man, looking at Washington don't do nothing for me. If that don't motivate you, I don't know what will. Jigga man, what up with you? Yes, sir. Training camp on the way. We're going to have some training camp stuff tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm hoping he get a series, CW. I really do, but it sounds like, man, they're gonna try to not have him playing. Richard said they're saving Dak for the Eagles game, start of the season, not now. That's what it sounds like too. A few series for Dak, control set of plays, play action for the timing, and no scrambling. Just get down. I'm with you. I am with you on that. I'm with you on that. Yes, sir. TME said, I'm really excited for the season to see some football. Me too, man. He said, I'm ready to tear this league up. Yes, sir, this season. I'm with you. Johnny Blue, he said, if he has to scramble for his life in a preseason game, I would be worried about the offensive line at that point. Yeah. If I'm Dak, I would adopt what Peyton Manning started doing late in his career. Boy, nobody could get down like Peyton Manning. He said, dude, I can't stand this MFJJ. He said, if they don't get to where they're trying to go, it will be JJ's fault. Pay your stars and fix the spots they needs to fix. Oh, Quentin, don't worry. He going to pay Michael Parsons. This is all just, he going to pay Michael Parsons. No doubt about it. All they're arguing about, I believe, are the years. Preseason game. Poopy DLK, I looked it up in a moment. Quinn Scott said, look at Jerry's like watching what is on his mind is when my next vacation fishing. Man, it might be time for old Jerry to step away.
That you can't live off of last year or the year before. You've got to go do something and make some changes. Something's got to happen differently.
I think he did do some stuff differently.
If I sat around and dwelled on the past, and especially the negatives of the past, then I couldn't even get out the front door. And so I don't think about
Appreciate you, Matt D.
I do
August
not
9th.
think about it. I work on, in my case, I work on what I can do different in that mirror, how I can change some things that I think will help things. I don't apologize at all for the fact that I've got the passion to be in the spot I'm in, or I have the background, or I have the qualifications. I don't apologize about that at all to my mirror. What I say to that mirror is change this, act better there, do a better job there. Now, we didn't do well at quarterback last year
CW.
because Dak got hurt, in my mind, just to show you how simple this is for me. And we didn't block
they
him
gonna
up
go off
very
the chain,
good,
bro.
either pass protect or open the holes up there. I think we're going to do better. Do I know better if we don't have Dak? No. But if we got Dak, one thing that I'm so optimistic about is the guy sitting right over there. Because the minute the season was over, we wanted him to have the most influence on the offense and the most influence of getting the best.
Hold on, Jerry. Ice Cold Cowboy said apologize for 30 years. Man, hold on. Hey, TME, you know what? Let me tell you something. TME, I like what you just said. I wouldn't be surprised if Diggs gets traded and that trade helps us out more. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if both sides. I wouldn't be surprised if both sides come to this conclusion. I wouldn't. I would not be surprised if both sides come to that conclusion. Trading Michael Parsons might be one of the best things trading Trayvon Diggs might be one of the best things they could do. Straight up. Straight up. I think at this point, you're right. I think it might be good. I think it would be good for both of them. Because the way Jerry done put this man out there on Front Street, and he put himself out there on Front Street too. I'm not just going to blame Jerry. He put himself out there on Front Street. Trade might be the best thing for not only him, but the team. Yeah, the team. Get a draft pick back. Get a player. Where could you improve? Either get a draft pick or a player. But do both of y'all a favor. I would. I think that's a great comment, TME. Straight up. Yeah, I'm with you, Ice Cold. Yeah. He probably won't out of Dallas. Straight up. Terrence C. Washington, yeah. And I'm just after what Jerry said today, shoot. They should be talking about it right now. Let Diggs get healthy. Let him continue to rehab. Let him get healthy. I tell him, don't even worry about coming back early. We'll let you play. Let's see if you can get back before the trade deadline. Maybe you play a game, show everybody you good, and we trade you. It makes sense to me because after what Jerry has said about Diggs, shoot, he probably take that so personal. Shoot. He probably take that so personal. He gonna tell her, I don't want to play no more for y'all. Z-Bay said, I want Diggs. He said, that's why I want Diggs to ball out. He said, ball the F out this season because he's a high value trade piece. Yes, Z-Bay, that's what I'm saying. He come in, let him play a game or two, show you what he got, boom, trade him. It goes to Mike McCarthy. Diggs is coming off an injury, probably won't see the field for most 25. Any trade next offseason won't bring back much in return for the Cowboys. But I think the Cowboys have to be smart, goes to Mike McCarthy. He gets healthy, let him back on the field. Let him back on the field. Because at the end of the day, he'll be auditioning. I think he'll be good with it. Let him audition. For real. Carl said, deaf, dumb, and blind. I agree with Big Waste after Clarence question should have been the last. Yes, sir. I said the same thing. Yep. Should have been the last one. The football question should have been coming. He said the snake was a good 1-tick and 3-tick. Okay. All right, let's see.
Out of Dak. He knows the personnel.
Yeah.
And he knew obviously where we could have done better and what circumstances we could have done better on. When I first was thinking about him, and with Steven and with everybody involved, I really didn't think about him being the head coach. I did think about him really being involved in helping us be a better offensive football team if, in fact, we were able to have some better combinations of things, personnel or what have you. So it's not hard for me, after not going to a playoff game or not going to an NFC championship game or not going to a Super Bowl, it's real hard for me to feel the pain you feel last year and feel the elation and the hope to this year at all. This is going to be exciting to see what a man that's spent 30 years, grew up in this game,
man,
never had a chance to head coach,
you talk about getting YouTube
and has got
boy,
some
you got
of the
me rolling
finest,
over
highest paid athletes in the world to
step
step out here and go to war with. I'm excited
Appreciate you
about
being
that,
on the
and
chat,
I'm proud
bro.
that he's getting this opportunity. He deserves it, in my mind. It became very clear to me that he would deserve it. What I'm trying to say,
Derek, I'm with you. And I said this on the video I made. I mean, a lot of people who are advocating for Trayvon Diggs, they're advocating for the Trayvon Diggs of pre-contract. Trayvon Diggs hasn't been the same since he got the contract because he got the contract and he popped the knee, boom. And everything we've seen on the field, he's not Trayvon Diggs. And now after that quote-unquote chondral bone graft surgery, and people are expecting him to get back, it ain't happening. I just don't think it's happening. Nope. People arguing about this dude are arguing about the Trayvon Diggs of the past, not the one of the present. Jerry told us it was definitely over for Mike. And he couldn't stand not calling the plays. Yes, sir, Young Showtime. I see what you said there. Jay Ratliff was a beast. Yeah, I remember him. Yes, sir. As bad as old Jerry has gotten, I'm still in the minority and more afraid with Steven taking over. My uncle says this all the time, goes to Mike McCarthy. He says Steven wouldn't know the best roster if it was under his nose, just the cheapest one. And I'm telling us, for as many people that's hating on Jerry Jones, man, y'all better be thanking Jerry Jones, because George Pickens, I definitely think that was Jerry Jones. Straight up, I think that was Jerry Jones. You might not like what Jerry says, but I think some of the things that Jerry does, he's done a pretty good job this year. CW said, Jerry said after tenths of a second quitting his GM unequivocally is not an option. Numbers don't lie. He is 0. Yep, but you know what Jerry counting, CW? You counting 30 years. Jerry counting 34 years. You talking about since 96. Jerry talking about since Jerry going back to 92. Straight up. What's up, Richard? He said, I had said for months ago before the season ended, Diggs wasn't the same. They should have traded him. Yeah. And I think they're going to probably do that this time too. Maureen, she said, this is business, baby, for sure. Straight up.
Hey, Tim, man, that makes me go here this year. That makes me feel good. I had no problem at all in the spring being excited about coming to training camp and thinking about it. Took that out. And I thought
the best culture in all of pro sports is what you said. The players were really excited about the energy in practice in the offseason. How do you maintain that through the dog days of training camp when we're here? And what do you think practices in the vibe here will feel like compared to what they've been like the last few years when you've been on the staff?
I think the biggest thing for me, number one, I really do believe that practice is what's going to separate us from the rest of the league. The way we practice, like that's how important we believe that it is, and it's the energy and the way we start it from not just stretch with the music, but going through the bags and everything's being evaluated, everything's being graded. There's going to be a winner and a loser in every period that we have, and that kind of makes it fun. But
this man said the Cowboys practice going to separate them from everybody. This man said, unlike Allen Iverson said back in the day, this man said practice. He said practice is going to make perfect. Straight up.
It's the type of guys that we have. I'm an upbeat, positive person. That's my personality. I think I'll speak to.
Now, have y'all noticed how Brian Schottenheimer's expression has changed? Now that you're getting more football questions, notice what his face looks like. I'm telling you, they were killing this man in the beginning of this dang on interview. This man was hot, boy.
To what Jerry said, I feel blessed to be sitting in this chair. I'm excited about the guys that I get a chance to work with, both the players and the coaches. I think you look at the staff, having had a chance to work with the staff all spring, it's a dynamic staff. I think these guys know how to teach. They know how to demand. They get the best out of their players, but they've also learned to connect with their players on a higher level so you can have those real hard conversations and push them to the limits when the days get hard.
So hold on a second. This is why I'm not believing this bull jive, as Deion Sanders would say. I'm not believing this bull jive that this dude on a podcast said that this Dallas Cowboys coaching staff told him that Jaden Blue was lazy. We never heard that in Texas. It's not in any of the scouting reports. We hear this from this dude 3 days before training camp. And this dude was asking about the best culture in football, the best culture in sports. Brian Schottenheimer just said they built relationships with the players, that if they want to say something to the players, they can say something to them. And people were applauding this stuff, talking about, yeah, I'm glad that something was said, and I'm glad this came out. And what? What are you talking about? The best culture in sports don't do that. The best culture in sports don't leak things through them through some guy named Glenn Smith or whatever his name is. They don't leak stuff through some ex-coach. The best culture in football said we have a good enough relationship that I can come to Jaden Blue to his face and tell nobody but him, hey, bro, it don't look good you not coming to the facility to work out. And I'm wondering if you're lazy. That's what you're building the relationships for. What kind of relationships are you building if you gonna tell me that you gonna leak stuff through the media? Man, if I'm Jaden Blue and you leak that through the media, man, I'm looking at you side eye for the rest of the season. If I verify that's true, I'm looking at you side eye for the rest of the season. Straight up. Brian Schottenheimer is saying something. Man, we got relationships here. We ain't doing that dumb stuff. How do we keep the energy going? The same way we started it. Building relationships. Honesty. That's how we do it. And that whole thing with Jaden Blue, man, that was utter nonsense. And the way people, I'm like, it's like, why do we seem to jump on everything negative about the Cowboys? What is going on with this type of attitude? If it's negative about the Cowboys, jump on it. If you say something positive against the Cowboys, you fake. You fake. You gaslighting. You ain't real. You woo-wee. You everything but somebody who know what you talking about. Man, this is crazy stuff. Man, I don't understand this stuff. It's crazy to me. And Brian Schottenheimer is clearly saying, bro, we got a relationship around here. We're not doing that dumb stuff. That's crazy talk.
Hard and the practices get tough, that's where we need to excel. And I think we'll do that because of the culture and the connection, not just that we've set, but that the players have adopted, and they're excited about it.
Anything quirky like the basketball stuff or the...
Yes, sir, Poobie D. Yeah, he ready to talk now. Straight up. Straight up. Yes, sir. CW, and I think he knows it too. And I'm going to tell you this. People can say anything they want to about Jerry, but Jerry done put together a team. Jerry ain't dumb. Jerry going to sign Michael Parsons. Jerry has put together a team, and I'm going to give him credit for it. I don't care who don't. Jerry has put together a team, and I think he's put together a winner. And I think it's going to win, and I think it's going to hit the lottery over the next 3 years. I think Jerry going to get him another one before we get out of here. I do. I think he's going to get him another one. Oh, yeah, Derek Grins. Ain't no way. Hey, man, with George Pickens, you ain't got no choice. Goes to Mike McCarthy. He said, Al was incredible. I lived through the 90s as a teen, so Jordan will always be the GOAT. But Iverson, yeah, man, he was fun to watch. Yes, sir. Man, that man said, practice? But if you ask him now, he'll tell you something different. See, your young self is always different than your old self. And when you realize in your old self how many other things you could have accomplished, when you watch other people accomplish things that you know you could accomplish because you got way more talent, but the reason why they're accomplishing more things is because they value the things that you didn't value. Boy, you look back on that stuff and go, boy, I could have. Because I don't care what nobody say. Shoot, Michael Vick. Man, Michael Vick could have been one of them, boy. Shoot. That boy could have been one of them. Quinn Warner, appreciate that super chat. He said, I am concerned about our depth. He said Diggs did a skip to the loop on a pass he caught during practice. A skip to the loop he caught during practice. Still favoring the left knee. Not ready. Yep. Quinn, I've been saying it. Man, I'm not buying all this rehab stuff. These people who do this rehab stuff, bro, they're very smart. And they're very careful. They're not going to put you in harm's way. They're going to make sure they get you and move you along slowly. There's a reason why he's not cleared yet. He ain't ready, man. And I don't think he was ready last year. And this is why the Joneses was tripping so hard on his rehab. I'm telling you, this is why they was tripping so hard, because they don't think he went at it hard enough. This is why they tripping. Salute, Chris Danzler. What's up? I'm telling you. Terrence Washington said he's loving Shotty. Man, me too. Yeah, this dude on the mission. I think we're going to get us one with him. Robert Dudley said, no drama, trauma, best medicine. Media twist and turn things around. Man, straight up. Bro, I'm sorry. I'm not going out here with all this silliness. I've heard everything Jerry Jones said clearly. And I'm just trying to figure out where he spoke lies at. I mean, he might have spoke some things. Some things are probably left better unsaid. But I think Jerry is basically with the Trayvon Diggs, I think he's sending a message. The stuff he said about Mike and Dak Prescott, I don't even understand TJ Watt on that. Man, he didn't even say anything bad.
You're planning on to try and keep competitiveness going through the meetings, or anything that you're willing to share with us?
Yeah, always. I'm not going to share it with you guys because the players don't know what it is yet, but there'll be multiple sporting competitions that will be.
Yes, sir, C-Base.
Mike.
Michael Coleman, KLTV, East Texas. You talked about your policy regarding Dak being over 30. On a younger player, the Marvion Overshown, his injury situation, what will your policy be regarding him?
Yeah, each player is different. You know, obviously we trust the training department. I think Jim and Britt do a terrific job with our doctors. But, again, there's a lot that can be learned from a knowledge standpoint by watching, by teaching. What I like to do with the guys that are out is actually let them coach some of the younger players. So like a guy like Demo, I mean, he can take, you know, some of the younger linebackers that we have, Shamar James, and spend time teaching them things and coaching them while they're watching. So we don't see it as missed opportunities. Of course, you're not going through the physical aspect of it, but there's a lot that can be learned and taught when you actually teach something instead of just doing it. Sometimes players that are these elite athletes, you ask them to do something, they're like, oh, okay, that's easy for them. But when they have to explain how to do it to someone else, they really learn the insight that goes along with it.
And see, this is where Dak is going to really be an asset to Joe Milton III. Dak is really going to be coaching up him and Will Grier. So even if he's not playing, he'll be doing some coaching.
That's not how I've operated as general manager of the Cowboys. I have Shotty, I have Steven right at this particular time. Hell, Tad might even be in there. But my point is, there is such a inclusion and discussions.
Yeah.
And as you know, you see it. I'm in Senior Bowls, combines, all of that. All of that melds into a real good feeling about where we are, so that I'm not sitting up there throwing darts about a player. Or I'm not sitting here logically addressing financially about whether to extend the contract going forward. But I have huge incentive to do it right. And so I ask these guys to the no end constantly, whether we're drafting a player, whether we're getting one in free agency. I mean, I'm covering it with them and going over detail about why not all the time.
See, Jerry is telling us something. Hey, guys, this isn't just me. We're all doing this together. So don't just blame it on me. We're all making informed decisions. I hear what he's saying. As much as people want to hate on this man, I hear what he's saying. CW, you know what? This is the part we got to see. We got to see what that run defense is, man. We really do. And the problem is I don't know if we're going to get a chance to see it because I don't know how much the starter's going to play. But we're going to know against Philly, that's for sure. Robert Dudley, you're right. He may never be ready. Man, that chondral bone surgery, whatever they call it, man, that ain't nothing to be talking about. Yeah, no problem. Shoot, that's crazy. Ghost of Mike McCarthy saw how Overshown said fans can't buy a new zero jersey until he plays NFL rules. Must have been the same NFL exec that didn't want to move away from leather. Yes, sir. I tell you what, though, when that jersey does come available for sale, man, we're gonna raffle that joint off. Yeah, we're gonna raffle a jersey off for sure.
I don't know that I would put my inclusiveness of input with anybody in sport relative to the general manager duties. Being where I am, I have a good feel for risk and the tolerance for the risk, and so that's an advantage for me being there rather than somebody else.
Well, Jerry, of course you can handle the risk because there is no risk. Another general manager had not won a if there was another GM of a team who had actually been the GM of a team for 30 years and not won a Super Bowl, bro, he probably stressing that his job gonna be gone every single season. Jerry, your job is never at risk. And the reality is, this is where I disagree with Jerry. Maybe if you had somebody in that situation to where their job was a little bit more volatile, maybe you would be seeing some results that you haven't seen in 30 years. Straight up.
There. There is no question that in sports, a general manager, if he is the one that can spend the money, if he's the one that can spend the money, and I emphasize that. But those guys can have bad runs of it, and then somebody else is there to take care of it when it's gone. There's not been any of that in 35 years here. There's not some.
Didn't I tell you, ice cold cowboy? You talking about 30 years. Jerry talking 35. I told you, man. Jerry ain't talking about no 30 years. Jerry talking about 35 years. Jerry gonna include the Super Bowls, bro. Man, Jerry ain't not include the Super Bowls. Telling you straight up.
Somebody else to have to take it on because
Matt
it's a
D
mess
said
or
100.
something
Yes,
like
sir.
That is a good governor of helping you make decisions. So I like it this way, but candidly, and if you watch this Netflix, you'll see, I gave every friggin' thing in my life and then exposed probably 2 or 3 times that to get to sit up here. And I did that when a lot of things weren't going right financially.
Jerry said basically he gave up too much not to continue to be the GM of the Cowboys. That's what Jerry said. Jerry said, y'all don't know, I gave up blood, sweat, tears, and my soul, and I'm going to be GM here until I die.
Financially for a lot of things, sports, NFL, a lot of things. And I danced with that devil, and then I've danced with it a few other times.
Jerry said he danced with the devil. I believe he did too.
Along the way. So if you think a little bit of what you write is going to deter me from sitting up here doing what I want to do, you're wrong. It's just not going to do it, because I've danced with the devil, the financial devil, and lived to tell about it. And so,
boy, shoot, y'all think Jerry playing? Shoot, Jerry telling y'all he done talked to Lucifer himself.
So that resolve is there with me as well.
Boy, y'all better listen, boy. Y'all better hear Jerry Jones. Shoot, Jerry said I made a deal with Lucifer himself. Jerry said, I ain't stepping away from this thing. Goes by because he said, shoot, give me a break. A father raising a family of 4 can provide for them comfortably for the rest of his life simply on what Jerry is about to make on the F1 race. Still alone, he just struck. Shoot. Hey, it goes by because that's what I said earlier, man. Hey, Jerry might be a lot of things, but he ain't dumb. He know how to make money. That's why he made that money on the Cowboys. TME said we can love and hate Jerry Jones, but he's the boss. Yeah. Let me tell you again, as much as we can say bad about Jerry, I'm recognizing the good that he's done this year, man. He's done a lot of things different. This stuff with this contract, I think this may actually kind of be this is Jerry trying to make a stand, but I just don't think it's going to work. I just don't think it's going to work. T. Washington said, speaking of the jersey numbers, I was hoping Blue would have won his old college number 23. Man, I don't understand 34, because when I think of 34, I think of Earl Campbell. So I don't like that 34, but hey, it is. It's just a number in the grand scheme of things. But as I said, Richard said, he said, Jerry scared. Shoe. You heard what Jerry said? I think Jerry talking literally talking about that doggone devil. Pure Game said, I don't blame Jerry. I would be doing the same thing if I owed the team, right or wrong. Yes, sir. Pure Game said, right or wrong, I bought this team with my hard-earned money. Yes, sir. Can't tell a man what to do with his own money. I feel you on that. Robert Dudley said Al Davis spirit is he said Al Davis spirit is alive and well through Jerry. Oh, man. Q Burrow said, call Quinn. He'll give us a 2 and a 4 for dip. Boy, you was straight up telling the truth. Man, I guarantee you. Boy, Dan Quinn will sell out the franchise for Trayvon Diggs, boy. Straight up. Uh-oh. Q-Town said, what up, G? I see you C-Base talking about the diddler. Boy, man, this dude. Jerry said he danced with the Prince of Darkness over here, boy. Oh, yeah, Bo Jackson. Hey, man, Ghost, when I see a number like 34, I think of a bigger running back. Maybe that's just me, but I just think of bigger running backs. Yep, Terrence, you said the same thing I'm saying. I just think 34 is for a big running back. When I see a number in the 20s, I think of a streamlined running back. But again, it's just a number. Man, boy. Okay, Davion Wallace said you can buy the 0 at training camp according to Demo. I will be there in 2 weeks. I will see. Davion, send me some footage. Don't forget, send me some footage. All right, let's see if we can get to the end of this. I might skip through some.
You've obviously had this job for a while now, but to be sitting here today, just personally, what does it mean to you to be on the eve of your first training camp as a head coach?
No, I'm just thrilled, man. I think why the people I get to do this with, day in and day out, Stephen and Jerry, the entire Jones family. You take these couple weeks off, right, and everybody kind of goes all over the map, and then you're about a week or two away. You start realizing, like, man, I really miss the guys. I miss CD. I miss seeing Sanborn. I miss seeing those guys. And then you start shooting them texts, and then you kind of you work yourself into a frenzy. The excitement and the man, I can't wait to get started. So again, just thrilled to get started. It's going to be an awesome camp. We feel great about where we're at, and truly seeing these guys makes me feel like the luckiest man in the world that I get to lead those young men.
Coach Schottenheimer, you heard just a few minutes ago, Jerry talked about how he feels like you've earned this opportunity, and what does the support that you have from him kind of mean to you, and how are the emotions kind of different heading into your first training camp as a head coach rather than an assistant on the staff?
That's a good question. Number one, the support from both these guys has been amazing. We've had some incredible conversations.
I do think the Mozzie's going to take a step. The question is how big, though. And the Cowboys, let me tell you something. Cowboys need Mozzie Smith to take a big step. We talking championship step if we talking about Super Bowl. They need Mozzie to make a big one.
Going back through the interview process and then through free agency and the draft, and I will piggyback off what Jerry said. I mean, the give and take is outstanding. How does this player fit? What's the role? Those conversations happen 24/7, and that's been awesome.
I like that, Q-Town.
And just in terms of this opportunity, do
Troy?
I think I deserve it? Absolutely. Do I think I'm ready? There's no question. And it can't get here soon enough. I guess it's here, but to get in front of the players and get started a little bit later today is going to be great.
I like what he said. He deserves his chance. I love it. See, he deserves it. For
real
sure.
Closely at in Shotty's case, but I look real closely at the incentive to do everything he possibly can do to help our Cowboy fans, help us have a success. And he's got so much riding on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that dad in the sky. He's got his mom. He's got family. But more important, he's got a lifetime of work.
I see
so
you,
when
Douglas.
I go into anything, I want to know what they've got at risk or what they've got at stake. When Johnson and I got together, okay, I knew exactly what I had at stake. Okay? When he came, we were probably 6 months before we ever did a contract on his salary. And he brought staff with him.
Yeah, I like that.
Because my point was that was an incentive for us to do everything we could. And we did reach out stuff. And by the way, unbelievable, this guy was sitting right there. And then, look, Jimmy told me one day, he said, you're a pain in the ass. But he said, I could work with Steven for 20 years. And so the other thing I've got to remind everybody here is that from day one, this guy's been sitting there, and other family members that I have just like him. We have evolved to this particular point. So it's not just me, but it is we. And the other thing is that at the end of the day, I believe it is the best way to win a Super Bowl. I believe that.
I see you over there, Quinn Scott.
Javon, WFAA, quick two-parter. I guess I'll start with Jerry because Tim brought up Landman. Were you upset that you didn't get nominated for a guest appearance?
All right, I didn't care nothing about this
I'd spent
Landman
some
stuff.
time in the California leagues playing, and he said, I had another good guy that was a
Going back to minicamp and OTAs, but over the last maybe 24, 36 hours, what's that been like?
No, it hasn't changed. I mean, he and I have been in communication just like I have with most of the guys, and I knew where he was this weekend, and he was coming in. And again, this time of year is a dead period, so you can't talk football, which we don't. You know, you guys know me. I'm a big connection guy. I'm a big culture guy. So it's more just checking in, telling guys I miss them. What are you up to? What do you need? Let me know if you need anything. And it's been no different. I'm not surprised he's here. I know what he's all about. I know he's about winning. I know he's about being great. And I would say my communication with him is no different than it was in the beginning.
Any level of frustration because you guys have preached kind of leadership, and some of the guys have preached wanting to be leaders, but not being present or not being on the field for certain things. Is it frustrating at all when some
I'm with you, Ice Cold.
players are not fully committed, so to speak, on certain aspects of what you're trying to build?
Well, leadership's definitely a commitment. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't look at our locker room and say there's anybody that's not committed to being a leader. I think part of leadership that makes it so hard is you can try to lead and guys don't want to follow. And so I think that's where the work ethic and being out there and doing the stuff, and there's a lot of different ways to lead. But I look at that locker room. There's a lot of guys that have leadership capabilities that get me excited and get me looking forward to letting them speak. I'm not the only one that speaks out there after practice. I let those guys speak. This is their team. They're the ones that step in between the white lines and have to go out in there to battle. And I think we've got a dynamic group of young men that are really ready to take that next step of leadership.
You've got a huge, you got a dynamic going on. You've got 10%, 12% of your people making 2/3 of the money. And so it's incumbent upon that group right there to walk and lead.
Now, let me tell you something about Jerry. A lot of us may not be feeling what Jerry is saying, but if you have ever been in the business world, this is exactly how they think. The people, they think the people who make the money are supposed to be the examples and the leaders. This is exactly how they think. So I already know where Jerry going with this. I know why he keeps saying this.
Walk and lead, and it covers a lot of ground what that is to make that work. And this is all a part of it to make it happen. But that's not that's nothing new. I've talked to people all over the league, and that's what you've got. You've certainly got players that are going to make more money than other players make, and but they've got to wear it.
Calvin.
Any frustration, because you talked about leadership and that kind of thing, and it's in its contract, but any frustration that, hey, we had to take money away from Diggs because he's not showing up working out at the facility the way you want him to?
No, he didn't earn it. He didn't come. That's in his contract that he doesn't get that unless he's going to be here. And think about it a minute. Do you have to go to work? And show up, all that kind of stuff? Of course you do. We all do. And bottom line is that those are contractual things, as Stephen said.
Jerry's standing on business,
it would be
boy.
Very detrimental to the team not to abide by the agreement.
Gordon Keith of The Ticket in Dallas. Since my esteemed colleague from the state of Texas, Tim Cowshaw, derailed us into Landman talk, I'm going to continue that derailment and ask about your Hollywood career. Are you aware that there's a cartoon?
Jerry Jr. And I don't have any trouble. I'm getting a little.
You are expecting to be significant, who maybe people are not talking about?
Good question.
Brian, you mentioned Sanborn. Short list of new veterans who you are expecting to be significant, who maybe people are not talking about?
Good question. Love Jack.
I'm
and
thinking
what he
Diggs is
brought
there
to the
now.
team this spring. Kyer Elam's a guy I'm really excited about. I mean, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders.
I'm telling y'all, I've been saying this since they got Kyer Elam. They got plans for Kyer Elam. Cowboys got plans for Kyer Elam. I'm telling you, if the Cowboys could get Deron Bland, Kyer Elam, and Savon Revel Jr. balling together, boy, you want to talk about a cornerback room. Straight up cornerback room. See that little part again. Hold on.
What he brought to the team this spring. Kyer Elam's a guy I'm really excited about. I mean, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Peyton Turner. I mean, the list goes on and on. I think you look at what we were able to do, not only signing our free agents that we wanted back, but adding some of the depth pieces that we wanted to do. And those are some names that pop off the list. But we've made a very competitive roster. And that's why, again, the importance of practice and the evaluation. And when we go through the drills, making sure we're getting guys paired up with the right guys for matchups and things like that, that's all part of the process. And, you know, Tyler Guyton going against Micah Parsons is great for Tyler Guyton. And something that we were doing last year before Tyler got dinged up a little bit. But
straight up,
couldn't be more excited about the roster of players and young men that we've accumulated.
Patrick.
I want to thank Brad for this alley-oop position question for Coach. Shotty, you'd have to go back. I mean, you can go back 14, 15 years or so, and it's a rare occurrence in which the Cowboys don't even have an indication of who their lead running back might be. You guys added 4 new guys, 2 rookies, 2 veterans. You mentioned Javonte, you mentioned Miles. Through OTAs and minicamp, has either of those running backs kind of started to take the lead as front runner, or are all of those guys going to get fair shot at first team reps?
Yeah, I think they'll all get fair shot. The problem with OTAs for a running back is,
and I'm laughing, Terrence, there are Cowboy fans that are mad that Jerry is standing on business. But I don't have a problem with the thing with Trayvon Diggs. I think it's just one of them decisions that you make. You say that you're not going to be there. I mean, you know what the clause in your contract is. So if you're not going to be there, you know you're not going to get the money. You don't really trip on it. You just say it is what it is. you just say it is what it is. I guess at the end of the day, hey, I don't trust it. If you don't trust the training staff, then you take what comes along with it. You don't get to say, well, I don't trust the training staff, so I get to go against what's in my contract. Unless your contract stipulates if you don't feel comfortable with the training staff, then you can get your own. No. You take what comes along with it. Straight up, you do.
the game is meant to be played very physically. You know, so the way you run through the hole is different when you're wearing pads or you're in a 9-on-7 period than it is when you're running around in shorts and T-shirts and OTAs. They'll all get reps, but I will say again, of the two veteran guys, they're very different. You know, Javonte looks great. Miles looks great. We're excited about Jaden. Hunter Lepke, I always talk about him just with his versatility and what he can do. And, of course, there's, Deuce. But that's one of the matchups and one of the position rooms that we're very excited to watch and see where it develops, not only through practice but in through the preseason games.
Clarence.
Yes, sir.
One question for Stephen. Have you talked to Mulugheta at all, or was it just Adam?
Just Adam, up to now.
And obviously, Shada, we know about Jerry and Stephen's angst to win, 30-year drought and all. But Dak talked about your hunger and how you want to win for your dad and your family, and this is what you've been born to do. Can you speak to your hunger to win and win a Super Bowl for your family and for yourself?
Yeah. One thing I would say, Clarence.
Yes, sir, Terrence. Big C from Tennessee. What up?
The hunger I have now is for the young men in that locker room. It's for the Joneses. When we win a Super Bowl, my dad will get a ring. I can promise you that. Look, this is something where I grew up with a father that there was one goal, and he was very open talking about Super Bowls and winning a World's Championship, and he never did it. It doesn't change his legacy and how good of a coach he was and the type of impact he had on people's lives. But, these guys over here, they have Super Bowls. They've won rings. I don't have one. and I want one in the worst way, and I'm willing to work my ass off and lead this group of guys whatever way it takes to help them achieve that. But it's really not just for me. If anything, it's more for them.
Nick, last one. Nick.
A quick question. Did you guys have a chance to speak with Kevontae Turpin since his arrest, and how do you guys plan on going about discipline?
Spoke to Terp, talked through it with him. He explained a lot of things. He understands that there's a standard, the way that we conduct ourselves, and he knows that he needs to be better, but we won't get into all the specifics.
I'm sure the Cowboys have already talked to him.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Cap.
Thank you.
Just one more screenshot, and this SOP is...
Man, I am telling you. All right, guys. Great show today. Got a chance to go through that entire thing and get some good dialogue, some good comments in. I always appreciate y'all. Yep. Yeah. Hey, goes to Mike McCarthy. Boy, they closed that thing out quick, didn't they, when they brought up that arrest by Kevontae Turpin. Hey, Nick Nation, I wish Aaron Donald would come out of retirement. Man, have you seen some of Aaron Donald's TikTok videos? Man, that dude can still play. Shoot. Turpin, it's going to be nothing. I guarantee you the Turpin thing is not going to be anything. Yeah, they shut that thing down quick with Turpin. He said, we handle that in-house. No problem. Pure game. Pure game said Turpin should have used his speed. Yes, sir, Pooba D, peace. I'm about to get out of here, too. Ghostmate McCarthy said they may have talked to him, but Turpin's previous arrest and having a gun is a big no-no. Got to see what happens. I'm wondering if the NFL is going to step in. That's the question. Dominique Pittman, appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to get it ramped up now, though. We got training camp. Appreciate you, Dominique Pittman. Yes, sir. Ice cold. We're going to get this thing popping, man. Appreciate you, Richard. Let's go, Cowboys. Guys, I'll have some more videos coming out, I'm pretty sure, later on tonight and for sure tomorrow. And tomorrow, we're going to have some action going. So I'm going to probably have to go twice tomorrow. Well, we got to get it all in. We got some Cowboys action. Miss Matrix, appreciate you. She says, see you next stream. Yeah, we got some action now, Miss Matrix. It's time to get it back going. Yeah, Melvin, I'm pretty sure well, we'll see what the NFL says. But from the Cowboys, I don't think it'll be a suspension. I don't think he will. But again, from the Cowboys, no. The league, we'll see. Y'all know how Jerry and Goodell have had some turbulent times. Yes, sir, Terrence, appreciate you. He said, great show, man. Listen, all cooking some pork chops, potatoes, and creams. Yes, sir. Good to see you. All right, guys. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Appreciate y'all. Peace.